Welcome to the Rat House, baby, where the truth ain't quiet, and neither are you. Where the Chat Rats crew slide in, pull up a seat, crime talk, cold facts, and a jazzy backbeat. We got stories to tell, got some justice to serve, so pour up that coffee or something with a swerve. There's Rat Daddy leading 6'5", a cool Toys the queen with the sharpest of tools. Dean's cracking jokes, Mary B's got the tea, and Lawleen lays the law down, real boss energy. MJ's got the fire, Gingy's taking names, Cassie's dropping Angel Baby's in the game. The clerk's keeping order, Misty's watching close. Pinky promises, keeps receipts, and she does the most. We're the Chat Rats, baby, worldwide and bold. Stories unfold while the crime scene gets cold. Puff, puff, pass, and the truth gets exposed. At the Rat House, baby, that's how it goes. Snap, snap. Cherry lights it up. Cherry lights it up, neon glow behind her head. Tombstones drops the facts that awake the dead. Connor's taking notes, Janine's on the clock. Hetty the paralegal keeps the court on lock. Sweet woman, sweet, but she'll sting if you like. Calypso keeps it cool, got that island vibe. Prince Lover's in purple, that Texas pride glowing. Sherry's laughing loud while the facts keep flowing. Bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ghetto. OG coming through, crazy-eyed cheese, oh you better believe. Robo-Rat clicks, sparks, gears in his head, breaking the code till the lies drop dead. Jump, feel the pulse, jump. We're the Chat Rats, baby, worldwide and bold. Stories unfold while the crime scene gets cold. Puff, puff, pass, and the truth gets exposed. At the Rat House, baby, that's how it goes. Crime solving, cracks. Worlds are stage. That's a fact. Together, we're the Chat Rats crew. We ain't looking back.
Bam, what's up? What's up, people? I am Danny Thomas. This is Rat House Media, whatever that is, wherever that is, whatever it could be. It's a YouTube channel, Mary B. Duh.
Obviously.
It's not that difficult. What you up to?
Right. I'm just chilling, you know. I sent an email to the job.
Mm-hmm.
Like a follow-up, and they're like, chill out, dude. We're still interviewing people. We'll let you know.
Well,
So, I don't know.
they can't think you wouldn't be sitting around waiting.
I know.
So
Like, I have things to do. But he didn't say, like, you didn't get the job, so you can move on. So that's good, right?
Yeah. Could have been worse. Could have been worse.
Faux show.
So we're just gonna watch some of this hearing we started the other day.
Alrighty.
We'll
Let's
let
do
it morph out from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see what happens.
Sorry, I'm still posting shit. This is like a rushed job.
I noticed.
Just got on.
Went live 5 minutes after you announced it.
I know. Because Turtleboy's going on at 7. So
Oh,
it sucks. I just bought this camera. It sucks pretty bad. I gotta get another one now. And that sucks even worse.
well, you gotta read reviews.
Dude. What's happening, buddy? Glad you stopped by again. We just got started here.
Oh, hi, Broken Baker. Sorry, I'm like clueless here. It's good to see you.
Mr. Broken. Mr. Broken. Hey, Broken. I like this. He's funny. It's almost as funny as I am, but not quite.
Almost. That's a hard bar though to get over.
Nope. Nobody awkward silence like I awkward silence.
No, they don't.
I can do it right now if I have to. What's up, sweet woman?
Hey,
Prince
sweet
Lady.
woman.
Angel Baby's here. Diane G.
Lover, Diane G.
Uh-huh.
Angel Baby, of course.
Chat All Stars. Anyways, I guess we might as well get to it because now we have an hour and a half. You know we're not going to get off at 7, but still, I
Yeah.
don't like the 7 thing because I'm not sitting around at home all day. No, Broken. Mr. Baker. Mr. Broken Baker. I'm from Mississippi. I try to Mr. everybody. It's hard to Mr. Broken. Mr. Broken, you're very funny, Mr. Broken.
Definitely.
Yeah, we don't make fun of the way people talk down here. Unless you talk like you're from up north.
I mean, I don't, so.
What's the time difference between, it's 5:30 where I'm at, from me to Denmark, where Baker is? What time is it where you are, Baker? Mr. Broken?
I think that would be 6 hours from you. I think it's 5 hours from me.
Denmark?
Yeah. Maybe more.
How you know? Just off the top of
Scotland.
your head,
Scotland was 5 hours.
what time it is in Denmark. You don't know.
I figure it's like similar to Scotland, no? Is that like much farther?
I don't know, Mr. Baker.
I need a map. Give me a map.
That's a little much. We don't say that word down here anymore, Mr. Baker. You're good. Yeah, watch out for them Yanks though. The Yanks.
You do?
Yikes. You guys got
You.
Yanks. Well, 10-4-20. Let's get on it. You ready?
Let's do this. I'm ready.
More Cosgrove. Now this is the mime down incident that we were watching the other night. This is the bail revocation hearing. Revocation hearing.
So stupid.
I know. It was stupid. But this is the one he was really scared. Like he was scared he was gonna go back to jail. I hated that shit. It was like, damn. I mean, I know he doesn't know who we are, whatever that is, but we still support Turtleboy and the First Amendment. Diane G. Do it again, Mary. Put her up. There it is. Signed, sealed, delivered. Took a while though.
It did take a while, but I got it.
It took forever. Let's just say that. But
everything takes forever. I did.
What's up, Lauleen?
Hi, Lauleen.
Hello, Mary B. and Donnie.
Who's Donnie?
Good to see you.
You're Donnie.
Oh, you're using your
My little
15th
Miss
Louisiana accent today, huh? Way back when.
Southern Belle.
Kearney. Oh, Kearney boy. We'll say Kearney.
It is Kearney, and it bugs me that like all of Karen Reed's attorneys say Kearney.
Yeah.
Like,
it is
y'all
weird.
should know.
It's weird.
Like, watch the show, people.
You want to preempt this little part right here? I forgot where exactly we were, but Cosgrove's was to like read the words he was saying to the camera with nobody around. Nobody's around, Cosgrove. There's nobody. You could have shot a cannon off in Massachusetts. Nobody would have hit. You wouldn't have hit anybody. Crazy.
So stupid.
Just on an empty street. Catching felonies.
T-Rex arms.
T-Rex arms catching felonies.
Is that they fulfilled their part as far as they could by returning within, I think, a week of Judge Krupp issuing the order, their acceptance of the order, and the responsibility to undertake that. And as far as I know, the court has not forwarded to them the appropriate search terms. I don't know what search terms Mr. Bradle supplied or what.
Let me just ask Mr. Bradle. Mr. Bradle, did you supply search terms?
I did, Your Honor. Document 67, I believe.
Number 67. Okay. Have you seen that, Mr. Cosgrove, or is that something that's outside your view?
Well, Mr. Bradle had permission to file them ex parte, so to speak, if he believed that they might disclose something inappropriate to the Commonwealth.
So you want me to forward that to Judge Macy, to Mr. Verano?
Well, I don't know that I do, Your Honor, because I want you to make an evaluation first of the appropriateness of those terms, which the court is supposed to do under Judge Krupp's order.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll do that myself.
All right. I appreciate that, and I would say if the court wishes to hear further argument, at this point, I would say just forward it all to Mr. Verano, tell him there may be further instructions coming from the court.
Okay.
Because it's been, what, 4 months now?
Okay. Let me, I'll do that. I'll forward it. Okay, I'll take a look at what Mr. Bradle has requested. If it's appropriate, I'll do as you request, okay?
All right, thank you.
Mr. Bradle, anything you want to say on that?
Yes, thank you very much. So, Judge, in document 67, it was just the original filing on this very issue where I asked for this hearing. And so in that case, Judge, there's a 1985 case, which I would kind of call it, it's kind of long, convoluted name. I would just call it the Petition for Protection of Confidential News Sources. So 1985, and it's still good law. And it addresses the situation that there's no statutory journalist privilege in Massachusetts. And it says that courts should deal with it on a case-by-case basis, as we are here, of course, and address issues as they come up. And just a quick quote up from the case, Judge, is that this court should consider alternative remedies for compelled disclosure of journalist source material. And my client has informed me, and he has previously sworn in an affidavit in this case, that his phones contain journalist source material. All this wide swath of electronics that the government has seized in this case, that there are areas where there are journalist sources. And most alarming, most eyebrow-raising, Your Honor, is that there are some instances where there are sources giving information on these very same state police actors in this case that we have been criticizing and pointing out errors and alleged corruption on. These people are the ones that are going to get this information. It's not even like the FBI or a third party. This is source material on the people that Mr. Kearney has been criticizing in the Karen Reed case. So I can't think of a more important case where a court ought to craft an alternative remedy for compelled disclosure than this. We have these conflicted officers who we contend perverted the witness intimidation statute for their own goals, and now they possess my client's electronics, and they're going to go through them for source material on their own wrongdoing, their own misdeeds. It's unbelievable. It's like a John Grisham novel, Your Honor. So this court is in a position to say, time out. Under the Petition for Protection of Confidential Sources, I can craft a remedy here. In fact, I think it's the court's duty under the First Amendment in Article 16 to craft a remedy and say, time out. The taint team is going to be sworn in under oath. They're going to provide information relative to the search warrant, relative to the court orders, but they may not provide any journalist source material, in this case, to the Commonwealth. And if there is an issue with any such material, it will be isolated off to the side. The court can look at it in camera, along with the defense, sort of like a Lumen Martin situation, Your Honor, and we can take it from there. That would be my request on that. And I think under that case, that would be the appropriate remedy for the court to address it.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all. Thank you.
I got it. All right. Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, I heard Mr. Bradle say that Mr. Kearney has produced an affidavit finding that journalist sources are contained within these electronic devices. I don't claim to never miss something, Your Honor, but I don't think I've seen it. So I would ask for some specification of.
Yeah, Mr. Bradle, is that part of in-camera Exhibit A?
Judge, I can't tell you off the top of my head. I want to say it's probably 30 or 40 documents ago, but I'm happy to get it to everyone when I can get to my files.
Okay, that's fine. Why don't you do that? Why don't you send a copy to Mr. Cosgrove and send a copy to Attorney Sano?
The second thing I would say, Your Honor, is that And I'm not necessarily opposed on principle to making new law, but I think I'm correct in saying that if the court rules that taint team screens for anything other than attorney-client privilege, it would be the first case I am aware of in the United States that has ever had that holding. And I think it would also be the first case where the so-called qualified journalistic privilege has not yielded to the demands of and the interests of the government in terms of vindicating search warrants and criminal laws. And finally, if I could, Your Honor,
No, go right ahead.
Judge Krepp's order also set a time, I believe, for Mr. Kearney to provide the Commonwealth with the passwords to these electronic devices. And I don't know whether there's been a formal answer on the record to that.
Let me ask Mr. Bradel. Do you have a response to that? About Judge Krepp's order?
Passwords, Your Honor?
Do you know what paper that was, Mr. Cosgrove?
I'm afraid I don't off the top of my head.
All right. So what you're saying is that there's an order from Judge Krepp that orders Mr. Kearney to provide a password to the device?
Yes, it's set out in the procedure
Okay.
of Judge Krepp's order.
All right.
And, I don't know if, well, let's put it this way. If Mr. Kearney has already provided that to the court, we need it, or rather Mr. Verino needs it
Yeah.
in order to feasibly open the devices. If Mr. Kearney is contending that he's forgotten the passwords, we need to know that so that Mr. Verino can proceed under what measures he can to crack the devices without the password. Or if Mr. Kearney is maintaining that he has a Fifth Amendment privilege against disclosing the password, then I think still I would tell Mr. Verino, or ask the court to tell Mr. Verino, that he may proceed. Well, proceedings are underway here, but I would then file a motion to have the court adjudicate whether he in fact has such a Fifth Amendment privilege.
Okay. Mr. Bradel?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So at this time, we're not pressing any Fifth Amendment issue. My remembrance of the case law on that is not, it's not particularly solicitous.
No, I agree. Yeah, I think that there's a case on point from the SJC.
Great. But Your Honor, some of those devices are pretty old, and some of them are old and not Mr. Kearney. So there's some issues there. What I would suggest on that is that if there is, I happen to know that the state police do have at least one, if not two, of the passwords of the devices that I think they're primarily interested in. And my thought is that they can report back if they have any issues, and we can take it from there.
Okay.
Is that right?
That's not the order. The order is
Yeah.
that he's to turn over the passwords.
Right. Mr. Bradel, have you responded to that in any way? Have the passwords been turned over? Is there?
Judge, I think that
I mean, if I don't, obviously, as you both know, I've come into this afternoon after one of my colleagues has been recused. So I'm trying to just kind of narrow the issue here a little bit.
Sure, Judge, we're not opposed to doing that. My thought was that we were resolving this stuff, and then once the court was given the green light to the taint team, we'd be happy to do whatever
Okay.
the order said.
All right. Okay, I get it.
I just was sort of chronologically looking at it as this was the next thing, and then
Yeah.
we'll be happy to comply with whatever the order is.
Well, you already got an order from Judge Krepp, so what I would suggest is I'll give you 10 days to comply with that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Next thing, Mr.
And
Cosgrove.
I am agnostic, Your Honor, as to whether I would yield to Mr. Brandl's preference as to whether he wants to go forward on my bail revocation motion or whether he wishes to press his discovery motion.
What's that, Fair D?
Judge, I'd like to get you on the motion to compel. if I may.
Okay, the motion to compel. Go right ahead, Mr. Bradel.
Thank you, Judge. I'm not going to belabor, I'm not going to just repeat the written filing, Judge, but, it's been a long time. There's been many discovery orders in the case. One comes to mind, May 8th, from Judge Cahalane of last year, and still here we are. And there's also, if I may, Judge, there's some qualitative issues that we have as well. We've gotten screenshots of text messages, very important text messages, and that is just not an adequate measure of compliance with providing text messages, Your Honor, because you don't have the whole string, you don't have the metadata. And something that just occurred in the Karen Reed case the other day, excuse me, was that a witness named Kerry Roberts took screenshots of her text messages that were provided to the defense as screenshots, here, same exact situation as we are here, and did not, in my opinion, give good faith answers to foundational questions about whether they were her text messages. And these text messages were not admitted. So here we are. And that's a perfect example of why screenshots of text messages, sorry, are not something that ought to be satisfactory. So we need the digital copies of these items. They're ordered, they're supposed to be given, and these sort of piecemeal pieces of paper with no foundational support, no assurance that it's the entire string, and it's really not the entire string. These really need to be given to the defense as a matter of due process, Your Honor. And I can say the cases, but you know them.
Okay, let me hear from Mr. Cosgrove on that.
Before I get to that, Your Honor, I would like to address a few things. Specifically, I'd like to start with the affidavit that has been submitted in support of the motion.
Okay.
Has Your Honor had an opportunity to review that?
Which paper is it? There you go. Let me see. Yeah.
Well, let me see if I have.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm familiar with that.
Thank you. I know Your Honor looked at it and entered a preliminary order.
Yeah.
Allowing the motion for impoundment pending today's proceedings. And I want to place the court on notice that I object largely to the order of impoundment. I don't object the impoundment of the name of the witness in item number 8, who is allegedly described with an obscenity, although that is the least of the characterizations of his behavior, allegedly described that way by Ms. Peter. But I do object to the affidavit being supported by what, in effect, for the record, would be an anonymous affiant. I particularly object to that because before the ink was dry, Mr. Kearney essentially outed the name of the affiant in his own YouTube presentation. And his identity, her identity, was discerned by Ms. Peter the same day.
All right, Mary B, we got to do some short attention span theater.
Yay.
Just because, let's see a little bit of this Proctor hearing. See if we
Yeah,
don't get his
this should
job
be
back.
interesting.
Certain responses given by Mr. Proctor regarding his views about messages obtained from his personal phone?
Yes.
And are you aware of his answers given, for example, during your interview with him, among other places, the effect that he believes he maintained an expectation of privacy with regard to all messages on his personal phone?
Correct.
Prior to your testimony here today, did you have occasion to learn of a document issued by the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office on this subject?
I did.
For the Commission's benefit, for all homicides and unexplained unattended deaths in a given jurisdiction in Commonwealth, who or what entity has the legal authority under state law to direct the investigation?
The DA's office.
So in terms of homicide investigations, the legal authority in charge is the local district attorney and his or her office.
Correct.
Directors from those offices to Massachusetts State Police personnel assigned to homicide units within those offices are orders for those members to carry out. Is that not so?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, showing you specifically or referring you specifically to Exhibit 36, you recognize the document as something you've seen prior to today.
I do.
All right. And it purports to be from the Office of the District Attorney from Norfolk County in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Yes.
And it's issue 2 specifically, Massachusetts State Police assigned to the Norfolk District Attorney's detective unit.
Yes, sir.
And that would be equivalent to what we referred to previously, the State Police Detective Unit, or SPDU, assigned to Norfolk County, where Michael Proctor worked in early 2024. Is that correct?
Yes.
Was specifically referring you to the date of this memorandum as included on Respondents 1267. It's dated March 19th, 2024. Is that correct?
It is.
And was there a date for compliance given within the document, sir? Referring you specifically to 1268.
Yes. March 25th, 2024.
And was Michael Proctor still assigned to that unit as of that date as well?
He was.
Now, directing your attention to the first paragraph of Exhibit 36, Respondent 36. Does this directive from the Norfolk District Attorney's Office reference its obligations, meaning that office's or that agency's obligations under a series of federal and state legal authorities?
Yes, it does.
And does that office state that it is, quote, inquiring of law enforcement witnesses as to potential exculpatory evidence that must be disclosed to the defense, unquote?
It does.
Does it further state, please search for and produce any and all exculpatory evidence that is within your control and custody as it relates to the pending criminal case against Karen Reed?
It does.
And does it further go on to specify, this includes any statements of law enforcement or witnesses contained within the department, issued or personal cell phone or other electronic device or platform?
It does.
Let me ask you with regard to this topic just a little further. You mentioned earlier in your testimony you have training and experience as part of county state police detective unit. Is that not true?
It is true.
Right. And you're aware, sir, in your training and experience of special obligations held by all members of law enforcement above and beyond those of ordinary citizens. Is that true?
It is.
And one of those obligations for police officers, including investigators assigned to a local district attorney's office, such as that, to obey the directives of that district attorney's office.
Yes.
And it also includes the general obligation as law enforcement witnesses to turn over statements about cases made by investigators, made by police officers under what is known as Massachusetts Rule of Criminal Procedure 14.
Yes.
And that is a special obligation of police officers and investigators in particular that extends above and beyond the ordinary rules and obligations incumbent on an ordinary citizen in our society.
It is.
My final series of questions, Detective Lieutenant, concern the last finding and recommendation of the report. So I'm now going to refer you back to respondents 18, which is on page 91. I'll give you those together.
Nice to meet you.
Specifically directing your attention for this next question to page 505, respondents 505, it's the last page.
I'm there.
Thank you, sir. Detective Lieutenant, looking specifically at your page 15 of your report, exhibit 18, which is also based in.
You're muted.
Is this the right hearing? It said it was. Make sure it's
Yeah, they're talking about him.
4 hours ago. So yeah, it was a stream on Boston 25 from today. So that should be it. This should be the correct one, but it was also time to skip to the next video.
TB
You're
went on a
welcome.
rant on X
Did he?
an hour ago. Yeah,
About what?
about Karen and Jackson going on Howie Carr.
All I saw was he
Yeah.
was talking about them zooming in on Elizabeth Proctor whenever I read the text messages about the nudes. Haven't the rant yet.
Oh yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah, pull it up. You can pull it up and read it to us, or you can pull it
Oh,
up.
do you want me to read it?
Sure. What's up, Jason Smith? Back for a second. Go round.
What's up?
I
All right.
guess hanging out before we go ride turtles. We've been doing that for a while.
Actually, do
I
you
have a
have
feeling
you
he's gonna
have
be ranting on his show tonight then about it.
No doubt, for sure. Where the
Yeah, I
fuck
don't
are
know.
all our people at?
Yeah, come on.
Where are these people at? What are they doing?
I don't know, but they're gonna miss my reading. Ready?
Sure. Go for it.
Okay. I hate airing stuff like this, but I can't bite my tongue. As many of you have seen, Karen Reed is doing her first interview with Howie Carr on Thursday at 2 p.m. I spoke with her today about the Proctor thing, and she didn't mention this. I can't imagine it pays unless she takes Market Basket gift cards. I was invited by Howie's producer to come on at 4:33 to discuss the Proctor thing, as I did every day throughout the trial. I said yes. Shortly afterward, I saw the announcement, which they didn't mention to me either. So I'm good enough to go on every day and drive listeners to a show, but not good enough to be invited on Thursday with Karen and Alan Jackson. Nah, I'd have to have no respect for myself at all to be used and treated like that. I proposed to Howie's producer that I join them on Thursday. They turned me down because logistically we can't reconfigure anything. Because pulling up a chair and a mic is too much work or something. In other words, they don't want to share the first interview with Karen Reed. Like many others, I am the reason Howie Carr even heard of the Karen Reed case. He started advocating for her after I was arrested, which I appreciated. I was targeted by the state police and sent to jail because of my advocacy and activism in support of Karen Reed and in opposition to corruption with the state police. Anyway, I've always been big on loyalty. I can't control if others aren't. And my loyalty is to the people who showed up in person for the last 3 years demanding justice, which we got on June 18th. I'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. for the live show, like I am every Tuesday.
Yeah,
I personally
it's
don't like when he rants on X like that because all it does is give him all the haters and then it turns into this long drawn out saga for
but that's how you know his feelings are hurt.
Yeah, it just
and
shows
I
that it means a
understand.
lot to
Like I
him.
totally understand what he's saying. I just some stuff is best not put on X.
Yeah, he wanted that first interview.
Because then idiot like Mary B will read it out loud. But I mean, he did get to interview Jackson first, which I think is more interesting.
Yeah, but
I mean, maybe not more, but just as, you know.
Jesus,
I don't understand the logistics of Karen going on Howie's car for show first when she needs
Right.
money and she could literally make millions elsewhere. Everyone
Yeah,
would
go
still
to
listen to her
TMZ.
interview on Howie Carr second or third or whatever.
Right. Yeah. It's a weird decision, but who knows?
But, you know, Alan called in to Howie right after the verdict, you know, so I don't know. They might have a closer relationship, have something in the works together. Who knows?
Oh, we'll see what he says on his show.
Yeah. It should be good. Because you know he's either pissed off or his feelings are hurt. If he's pissed off, you'll hear about it tonight. If his feelings are hurt, you'll hear about it next week. After it sets in for a minute. What night are they going on the Howie Carr show?
It said Thursday.
At
Thursday.
2, I think.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, so it's like during
mid-afternoon.
the day.
That'll be replayed a trillion times.
Mm-hmm.
Good. But she
You
really
know,
should.
he has all of those political affiliations. There could be something there that they're using him for. I mean, he
Or,
like
I mean,
is good friends with Trump, and she's got a civil case. You know, you have friends in high places.
Yeah.
well, isn't
Yeah,
that like a call-in show?
I mean, he's done a shitload for her. She could have.
Yeah,
Not that she owes him because he didn't ask for anything, but still, you knew that was going to be a problem because he goes on Howie Carr all the time.
yeah.
Howie knew it was going to be a fucking problem when he booked Alan Jackson and Karen Reed.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Yeah,
should have
that
said,
was a choice.
"You need to go on fucking Turtleboy show and then come on my show."
Why not
Yeah,
have
and I think
Aidan on at the same time? I mean, it would make it even more entertaining, unless he feels he's going to lose the interview to Aidan when Aidan gets on.
Yeah.
right. Well, I think what he's more pissed about is that like it seemed like they were hiding it from him.
Yeah,
Oh,
if he
yeah.
talked to Karen and she didn't say anything, and talked to Howie and they didn't say anything, and then he suggests it and they have a lame excuse for why they can't.
Right.
Yeah, I think they really should have done something. Smarter, Hari, why are your feelings hurt? Oh no.
Well, it's gonna be okay.
Like Stewie says, oh no.
Oh, also, did you guys hear the biggest sports news of the year?
No.
Taylor Swift is engaged.
Oh God.
Yay, good for them.
I guess that means she's engaged to the Kansas Chiefs dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Travis kissing.
I'm sure they are made for each other and it'll last forever.
Hey, at least they can have each of them can have their own money.
No,
true.
they'll do
I mean,
something.
she has a little
stupid and
more,
say,
but
we're so in love. We don't need a prenup. We'll be together forever.
Yeah, weird, but they both got a lot. Like he's 4-time Super Bowl champion. That's a
yeah,
lot.
but football players
She's
don't
a
make as much
billionaire. Shit. Are you crazy? He's a
Well, I
first
mean, they
string.
get millions of dollars for
Just
4
the
years
bonus
and stuff. Yeah.
is retarded. Not to mention their salary. And Kelsey's the number one guy in the league in his position. So he's probably making like fucking $15 million a year or more.
He's
What's up,
overrated.
Caroline? Caroline Fourth. Zip.
Hi.
Pink Angel baby.
Hey, guys. Oh, I know. She's gonna get mad.
Yeah, she
Oh,
should've-
wait. I just told you the news, Angel baby.
What?
You're welcome. She
What
didn't
happened?
know
About what?
about Taylor Swift.
Was a big proposal.
I don't know. I just saw it.
Nope,
It popped
he
up
just
on social
threw up.
media.
Is that on the
You
floor
weren't
or
even
in your
interested enough to go into details about it.
No, I wasn't. I was just like, ooh, I want to be the first person to tell everybody.
How
Hey,
can that
Jake
not
got
be in my
$48
phone somewhere today? I haven't seen news about Taylor
Shut up.
Swift today.
Please.
I take that back. I saw where Meredith posted something on Facebook, and when I clicked on it, it was Swift, and I clicked off real quick. It was a music video, but I don't know. Maybe it was in regard.
Question we've been asking. You said
Oh,
Meredith.
Freya, come here. What happened? Oh,
Meredith
me?
O'Neill.
Oh, she is still around. I haven't seen her in chats. Here's the other kitty. She wants to say hi. Probably not.
Oh God, Smarter Ari's just pulled the long memory on me, and she's sitting Shiva. It's not good.
But she does it.
We call that peacocking down here, and it's not good. Not good. All right, you're gonna know what this is because this is a good one.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
morning. How you guys doing? So where's the crowd today? Where's all the blue people?
The Sorters video.
Really? How are you feeling about the election results?
I'm excited.
You are? You're excited to
Yes,
live in Trump's
Trump
America?
couldn't be more
That's
thrilled.
great. Hello, sir. What's your name?
You didn't ask my name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we know.
What a badass. I'm not telling you.
It's just like
America?
sit there.
That's great. Hello, sir. What's your name?
You didn't ask my name.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even flinch. Didn't even flinch.
Yeah.
Joe, he may be a homeless guy that wandered up at the same time as like looking, just wanting a cigarette. You know.
Oh, we know.
If you don't
Oh,
talk, you
Kim,
can't say something stupid.
I am.
Okay, so Kim, why did you suddenly take an interest in this case?
One, because I think Karen.
Right. So does that have anything to do with the fact that I wrote about you 3 years ago?
No,
So it has
doesn't.
nothing. That's just a coincidence.
I love you.
Remind me what that story was about.
I don't remember. It's been so long.
So you were working in the public schools, correct?
Yes.
And do you still work there?
I'm not working right now because I am home taking care of my son who has special needs.
Okay, so you're unemployed?
I work at home.
For who?
I get paid to take care of my son.
Okay, so the government pays you.
Yes.
I
Okay,
want
that's
that
good.
job.
So you suddenly took an interest in this story.
Where you get that job at?
For real. Okay, I need back pay. 4 of them.
Is your
Is
kid?
that not a thing where you guys live?
Yeah, where did you
I
get
don't
that
know.
job?
Like if you're a caretaker, you get paid for it, but you have to meet some criteria.
What's wrong with their son? I thought it was like a learning disability. Is it like a medical condition?
I mean, if she's getting paid by the government, there's got to be a diagnosis, like not just like a
ADHD.
depression or something.
He's on
Yeah,
the
I don't think that would.
After I started writing.
They're
I take
all on
back
the
what I said then. I don't wish any children to get money.
Wow. The spectrum when I was a kid was the different widths of belts.
Think about it, correct?
I started hearing about this story actually before you started writing about it, before you started grifting off of it. Yeah.
So but you didn't take an interest in it.
No, I
You
didn't
didn't.
take an interest
You
in
weren't
it.
out here supporting John O'Keefe or anything
So
like
now
that.
I'm out here. Do you think I would stand out here freezing just because I don't like you?
Where?
No.
Oh, I absolutely believe that.
No.
So you did.
You're not
So
worth
you're.
that much to me.
so
You're
you're-
really not. You're not worth it.
So you suddenly decided to take an interest in this case after I did, and you've been obsessed with me for several years.
I'm not obsessed with you because
You
you're
post about
actually-
me a
you're
lot,
actually one
don't
of
you?
the most disgusting people I've ever met.
Have you seen the people that you hang out with?
They're really nice people.
You think
Wait,
Krusty, Krusty Panties is a nice
Have you
person?
seen the people you hang out with?
Well,
What
the-
trailer did they all come out?
how many of Krusty's kids does she have left over? You know,
I don't know what you're talking about.
her name is Catherine Peter.
I don't
She
know who you're
lost 2 of her
talking
kids due to
Don't
years
know
of
who you're
neglect.
talking about.
Do you support child abuse or just when Kate Peter does it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, she abused and neglected her kids and lost them to the state. Do you support that?
Oh, and what about your kids? You're an embarrassment to your children.
But I haven't lost them to the state.
What
She
are you gonna-
has
What are
due
you
to
gonna
years
do
of
when you go
neglect.
to prison with your 19
Oh, I'm
children?
not going to
Oh,
prison.
you
It's okay.
are.
You're right, Joe Biffle. It is time for the next part of 88. What's our favorite part? Favorite part to freeze it on.
Oh,
Let's
the
skip
Petro.
this little loophole lawyer. Well, I say.
All right.
It's a coming. That damn thing's lagging right there. Hold on. Did you say something, Lolene?
Negative.
Okay. Probably one of these videos. Let's try it again. What is it doing? Sorry.
You have to hit play.
I know, but my
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead and say them.
Cunt. And saying that is the same thing as his grandfather being murdered in the Holocaust is insane. Imagine thinking you're this important with your whole tough guy thing. Imagine.
something is wrong with that video.
What do you do? John, why do you lie every day?
I'm sorry. That last video, though, I don't know what's wrong with it. He's freezing up.
Oh, bummer.
I don't know. Let's go to the list.
Why do you lie every day? You go in there and you lie. We read your tweets. You're misrepresenting what's happening there. No, you're lying. You're lying, John. How much are they paying you to lie?
Now hold on. Listen, Turtle. All right. Do I have to get? You're not supposed to be doing this. This is supposed to be the buffer zone. You're not supposed to be.
Trooper.
And on top of it, you're
You don't like when people ask questions? You ask Karen Reed
I'm
questions.
live read right now.
But, so you're allowed to ask questions, but I'm not.
Yeah, but she's not broadcasting, and I am. So
No, I'm broadcasting.
Trooper. This individual to move along instead of interrupting. So you can check that. It's actually a policy that you're not supposed to interrupt a broadcast. So, all right, you can keep filming me like that. So with your glasses. So why don't you go tell them that you want them and their families to burn to death in their homes? Okay, that is certainly the words of a domestic terrorist.
I don't want that.
Yes, you do want that.
No, not at all.
Now listen, I've asked you for.
Here they come.
You're not supposed to interrupt the broadcast. You go over there and do that. I'm live right now, right? And he is.
You go over there.
And wait a second, Deanie. I was reading that post that Mary V just read of Aidan's, and he made a comment in there that says, so this announcement from Howie is a little misleading.
You're breaking up.
Oh.
That is not going to be interviewed. She's going to accompany Alan and may pop in and say hello, but she's not being interviewed, supposedly.
You broke up the entire time, and then you came back at the end.
Reading. I stopped reading when I heard you say I broke up.
Oh, okay.
Basically, he made a comment that says Karen is not being interviewed. He spoke with her, and she's going to accompany Alan and may pop in and say hello, but she will not be being interviewed.
Oh, that's good. Excellent. Well, that makes all of us feel better because that was kind of a shitty move. Even popping in, kind of shitty.
Yeah, it's going to be too tempting. Like,
the chat wouldn't hurt her at all. Stay in her house, safe. Get on YouTube. Say hey to everybody. Yeah.
then the antis are just going to say that there's something going on with her and Alan.
Yeah, but now they already lost. There ain't shit they can do. Be the loser guy. Be the loser. Let's try this again with a different video, except the same video. Turtle Media Rant. Oh, God.
Hi, Turtle Media Rant.
Welcome.
Offered a plea deal of time served if she gave up Wendy. Whoa.
To equate the things that I've said on my program, calling Peggy O'Keefe the C word.
So don't spell it. These are your words, Trooper Proctor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead and say them.
Cunt. And saying that is the same thing as his grandfather being murdered in the Holocaust is insane. Imagine thinking you're this important with your whole tough guy thing. Imagine thinking that.
You know what? I didn't think that you could sink lower than calling the poor mother of a murdered Boston police officer the C word.
C-U-N-T.
Turtle Media Rant. That's kind of in the middle. I'm wondering if that's AKR or FKR. What y'all think? What's your vote, Lolene? I haven't seen her in the chat.
I'm going to go FKR.
Oh, you're going FKR. What about you, Mary B? Okay, Mary B's going AKR just to be a opposite because I know she would do that. So I'm voting
Drum
for
roll,
you.
please, while we wait for them to comment.
Well, they've been nice so far. They usually say something derogatory immediately because they've been waiting 5 minutes since they subscribed.
Called Peggy O'Keefe, who is a cunt to me, exactly what she is. I don't like Peggy O'Keefe, so I'm a bad person. Oh, no. Okay, there you go.
Wanted to break this. This is something I just heard from a very good source.
Ooh, I love breaking news. Let's hear it.
Donna was offered a plea deal of time served if she gave up Wendy. Whoa.
Whoa.
And she turned it down.
Totally unfounded and untrue.
Whoa.
No such plea offer has been extended.
Do you expect this rumor to have any impact on that jury selection?
Well, that's my concern, and that's why the ethical rules allow on pretrial publicity for corrections of things like this, and that's why I so quickly wanted to come out and correct it.
You heard from some sources that a plea deal or
Bam. Got you, Lawlane. Look at that hair. Holy shit. Not loophole lawyer. That's not what I'm talking about. Huh?
Yeah.
Look at that hair, Lawlane. What's he got in that hair? Like imported olive oil or something?
From Greece, I'm sure.
Come on now.
I mean, he's told people before because they've asked that. Women have asked for their husbands.
Yeah, for their husbands.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why they smell like it at the gas station. Now.
Gives all that info out on the show, too.
They ain't rubbing it on their husbands. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
It's the subject of an extensive post on YouTube.
Ask Mary B.
So there is
Because Mary B knows what I'm saying.
no purpose at this point, Your Honor, to allowing her to pretend to hide behind an account.
Okay, I got it.
Moving on to that, Your Honor. I object to the affidavit. I think that Mr. Kearney should produce the affiant, or that the affidavit should be stricken. This affidavit largely recounts purported hearsay by Ms. Peter, and I'm not going to go through them all one by one, but I will say, for example, that the assertions set forward in the affidavit are so preposterous and outlandish on their face that I really, I don't mean to be overly critical of brother counsel, but I really question the judgment of counsel for Mr. Kearney in going forward and filing. For example, if Your Honor will look at item 6, supposedly Ms. Peter said, and the fiat repeats it as gospel, that at one point in the jury deliberations, Ms. Peter met with a prosecutor for lunch. And that during the lunch meeting, it doesn't say where, it doesn't say when. During the lunch meeting, the prosecutor was indiscreet enough to tell Ms. Peter that he knows the foreperson, who is a retired police officer, and he, the juror, is guaranteeing a mistrial. Now, does that make sense to you, Your Honor, that an experienced prosecutor, and I don't know if the main prosecutor has appeared in front of you or not, or has an impression of you have an impression of his ethical qualities, but he would have to be both unethical and stupid to both engage in this kind of jury tampering, and something else you can follow, and essentially contacting a juror to fix the outcome of a jury trial, and then turn that information over to a woman who is a known YouTube blogger. That's one. In item 7, she indicates that she, Ms. Peter, is paid $1,500 each month via Cash App for her assistance in the Karen Reed and Aidan Kearney prosecutions. Well, I'm tempted to make light of this, Your Honor, and say that if the district attorney is paying Ms. Peter that money, he's not getting his money's worth, because I haven't heard from Ms. Peter the entire time that I've been representing the Commonwealth in this case. But put that aside, Cash App has records, as I understand it. It has records from what bank account to what bank account. I don't know what Mr. Brado did to verify this, but I don't see any records from Cash App, and I would like to examine this call Antonio, excuse me, so far, but I guess I did about the 9 million person to let the man out the cat out of the bag.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr.
I would like to examine the fiat as to that information and what, if anything, that she did to verify. The fiat then says that she personally has heard Ms. Peter on the phone with Hank Brennan, that she personally recognized Hank Brennan's voice. that Peter told him that her people leaked it to the media, referring to the federal investigation being open. I think the people who, putting aside the fact that I think the person who leaked it to the media effectively was the U.S. attorney in a radio interview who responded to the question of whether she had communicated with the Commonwealth and the police department as to the progress of that investigation by saying she couldn't verify whether a grand jury investigation was over, that it would not be uncommon for her office to communicate with law enforcement, et cetera, et cetera. Anyone who had any sophistication knew what she was saying, and about a week later, the district attorney's office verified in open court that that was the case. So I don't know why we needed Ms. Peter to leak that to the media when we were announcing it open court. But at any rate, it's in there. I would like to examine the fiance as to how she knows Mr. Brennan's voice, how she knows about these multiple conversations, when they took place. And finally, I'll skip over the rest of them for the most part, but I come to items 14 and 50, in which Ms. Peter informs her that Jennifer McCabe bought her a brand new section, I assume she's referring to a sofa, as compensation for her assistance. I'm not quite sure how Ms. Peter has assisted witness Jennifer McCabe, but maybe it's revealed in the next section, where section 17, where Peter informs her that Jennifer McCabe paid her for her show of support. Well, subsequently know that apparently the affiant lives in the same apartment building of Ms. Peter, who has not denied in her own posting that she knows this particular witness. And presumably she knew that Ms. Peter had a brand new section. I suggest that the information that Jennifer McCabe brought her a brand new sectional is made up out of whole cloth. And I'm not going to go through it all because I'm hoping the court will give me an opportunity to examine this witness and the witness stand. But I think the court could ask itself why this particular affidavit is being submitted now in support of what I would suggest would otherwise be a fairly routine thing that comes before judges, motions to compel discovery.
Okay, let me get from this.
Oh,
yeah, I'm sorry, let me cut you off.
And I suggest that the reason is this, and the court can make its own judgment. And my assessment is that the purpose of the motion is to dirty Jennifer McCabe. I don't think it's an accident that Jennifer McCabe is testifying today in the other courtroom and yesterday in the other courtroom. And I suggest that the purpose of this motion, which has been loudly trumpeted by Mr. Kearney on his YouTube show, was to accomplish his oft-stated purpose of prejudicing the jury in that trial.
Let me just try to this from side.
Just like looking at each other like, what in the fuck is he talking?
I know. I like when the camera shows that table because it's a lot more entertaining.
All right, a little more Proctor.
Detective Lieutenant, looking specifically at your page 15 of your report, exhibit 18, which is also based in Respondent 505. Specifically, I want to ask you now about allegation K, the only one I haven't asked you about yet here today. This allegation K states, regarding the allegation that on dates between January 29, 2022 and August 17, 2022, Trooper Michael D. Proctor, number 3863, engaged in behavior that brought himself and the department into disrepute. You indicated thereafter the incident is supported by sufficient evidence to prove employee's conduct. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
And it's more than sustained for that particular allegation.
Yes.
Now, if I could ask you to go back a few pages in your report to paragraph 21, this is your conclusion section, sir. It would be on page response 499, starting on 499.
I'm there.
Starting with paragraph 21 there toward the bottom of 499, could you just please read the first three sentences and only the first three sentences of that portion of your report?
Starting with yeah.
Paragraph 21. Oh, I apologize. 1 second, please. I have it here, so apologies for the confusion. Paragraph 21, yes, beginning with Trooper Proctor at the top of paragraph 21. If you read the first three sentences.
Trooper Proctor testified that he sent text messages to friends whom he described as people he grew up with and who lived in different parts of the country. Trooper Proctor sent multiple text messages to this friend group that contained sensitive information about the active homicide investigation. He also sent text messages to this friend group that contained inappropriate comments about Ms. Reed's medical conditions, as well as other derogatory and defamatory statements about Ms. Reed.
All right, sir. Is it fair to say that in addition to bringing himself and the department into disrepute, These specific messages, the ones referenced in paragraph 21 immediately thereafter, those specific messages are also evidence of violations of allegations A, B, C, and D, as you categorize them in this investigation, sir.
Correct.
And it's found and related here, sir. The text that Trooper Proctor sent specifically included the following, if I can ask you this. The victim's name, that is John Keith.
Yes.
The manner in which the victim died, quote, she waffled him, and quote, I looked at his body at the hospital, he was banged up, and quote, she hit him with her car.
Correct.
Charlotte, I got it on one
We
file.
also include, those texts include information and demeaning, sexist, misogynistic, and abusive statements about Ms. Reed, including, quote, from all accounts, he didn't do anything wrong. She's a whack job cunt. Yeah, she's a babe with a weird Fall River accent, though. No ass, unquote. Nutbag, as Chief would say, unquote. And she's got a leaky balloon knot, leaks poo, unquote.
Yes.
You can also say that.
Yes.
It also included information related to the investigation to which he was assigned and what police actions would be taken in that case, including, quote, they arrived at the house together, got into an argument. She was driving left, unquote. Quote, yeah, but there will be some serious charges brought on the girl, unquote. Quote, zero chance she skated, unquote. And quote, she's fucked, unquote.
Yes.
Detective Lieutenant, is it also fair to say you obtained evidence that some of those messages were sent during the investigation's earliest stages, even some on the day it began, that is January 29th, 2022, before facts and information have been released to the public? Is that correct?
It is.
And as the authority in charge, the legal authority in charge of all homicide and unattended death investigations in their jurisdiction, who or what is the entity in this particular instance that had the legal authority to determine what information put out publicly in connection with this investigation?
It would be the DA's office.
All right, so moving you slightly further in that same paragraph, again, we're in paragraph 41, but now on to the next page, respondents 500. Did you note and include in this portion of your conclusions a summary of Mr. Proctor's statements to you during your interview, including his explanation that he, quote, did not provide specifics, unquote?
Yes.
All right. You further stated, is it not true, sir? Quote, while he may not have provided other specific case information to this friend group, he still provided information, including the cause of Mr. O'Keefe's injuries that had not been released publicly. Do I have that right?
You do.
And now I'd like to ask you about your findings and inferences regarding some of the comments that Mr. Proctor made about Ms. Reed. In your conclusion, is it not the case, sir, that you know the comment Michael Proctor sent about Ms. Reed being a, quote, whack job cunt, unquote, is an inappropriate and derogatory comment that shows Michael Proctor had a personal dislike of Ms. Reed?
Yes.
You acknowledge also in your conclusion section, sir, you acknowledge that Michael Proctor testified, quote, that his comments were partially due to the emotions getting the best of him, unquote. Is that correct?
Yes.
Even so, what are, in your training and experience as an assigned investigator to the Office of Professional Integrity and Accountability, what are the professional obligations of a sworn member in Michael Proctor's position when experiencing and confronting emotional difficulties concerning an active case investigation?
So it's understood that police officers are humans and natural feelings and emotions are going to develop. But as a police officer, it's important that any actions taken are based on reason and fact.
Referring you specifically to your words in your report, sir, did you include the following sentences and make sure I quote these correctly, sir? On this point, police officers have to act impartially and not based on emotion. However, police officers still experience emotions based on what they are exposed to. While this is understood, it is also understood that the emotions of a police officer, the emotions a police officer may feel about an individual are kept in check, and their actions are based on reason and fact.
Yes.
Yes. You also made some findings and inferences with respect to comments about Ms. Reed's physique, specifically with regard to the appellant's comments about Ms. Reed having, quote, a weird Fall River accent, though, and no ass. Were those appropriate, sir?
They were not.
Why not?
There were comments on her mannerism and her physical appearance.
In addition to being offensive comments about her physical appearance, are they also an indication or created the appearance that Michael Proctor, on behalf of the Department of State Police, has not been an impartial investigator?
Yes.
With respect to his comments, quote, she's got a leaky balloon knot, unquote, and, quote, leaks poo, unquote, were those found to be a commentary on Ms. Reed's medical condition or conditions?
Yes.
And in fact, Trooper Proctor so testified that those were comments on her medical conditions. Is that not so?
Yes.
Did Michael Proctor acknowledge in his interview with you that those comments were, quote, unprofessional and regrettable?
He did.
What else did you conclude or determine about those particular comments as indicated in your report, sir?
He was sharing medical information with people who were not privy to that information, and was also an issue that was irrelevant to the criminal invest.
Is it fair to say, sir, that in addition to bringing himself and the department into disrepute, again, allegation K that I'm describing or questioning you about generally, these particular messages regarding Ms. Reed and her medical condition are also evidence of violations, evidence of violations of allegations D and F as you got evidence?
Yes.
Returning to your conclusions, sir, now specifically to 22 on page 500, responding 500. Did you also find evidence to conclude that Michael Proctor had sent text messages to his sister that conveyed sensitive and previously unreleased information about the active homicide investigation?
Yes.
What specifically did you identify in that regard, sir?
The location of the crime scene and potential witnesses.
Reading from your report, sir, if you could follow along with me, the second sentence of paragraph 22, and just make sure I read it correctly. On the same day that SPDU-Norfolk initiated their investigation of the death, Michael Proctor sent text messages, Trooper Proctor sent text messages to his sister that included elements of the death scene, quote, just found a frozen to death on a front lawn in Canton this morning, unquote, and information about potential witnesses, quote, actually just interviewed Jen McCabe, said she knows you, unquote, quote, Julie and Chris were at the bar with the victim and girlfriend, got to interview them, unquote.
Correct.
Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Did you also identify evidence that Michael Proctor was subjectively and contemporaneously aware of the confidential nature of what he was communicating to his sister?
Yes.
What specifically did you identify in that regard, sir?
He texted his sister, "Don't say a word to anyone." This suggested that he knew the information he was sharing with her, he should not have shared.
Is it fair to say, sir, that in addition to bringing himself and the department into disrepute as allegation K, these particular messages, the ones we've just been referring to, shared with Michael Proctor and his sister regarding the active homicide investigation, are evidence of violations of allegations A, B, and C, as you also categorize them, sir?
Yes.
You think so?
You have another case coming up that you're not even aware of.
Oh, what's
yet.
that?
You'll find out.
Oh, sounds scary. How
You'll
would you?
find out in January.
Oh, I'll find out in January. So what's
Yes,
going to
you
happen?
will.
So is there a grand jury? Is that what you're saying? Why wait till January?
You'll find out in January.
So just to remind me, that article I wrote about you in 2021, do you remember exactly what you did?
No. You want to remind me?
I believe you were making inappropriate comments about parents of the school that you were teaching
No,
at.
no. The comments I made was I just wanted people to wear masks.
Right, but you were saying negative things about
No,
Trump
you
supporters,
twisted
correct?
my words. What you said was that I don't care about kids that are depressed or anything like. But what I said was, if we don't go to school and wear masks, we're not going to be able to stay in school, and then your kids are going to be depressed because they're home.
So you're a mask
you
person.
twisted it. You
Okay.
gaslight. Just
So
like
why
you
did
do in
you
every
why
other
did you lose
article.
your job then?
And guess what?
Why'd you lose your job?
I didn't lose my job.
But you don't work there anymore.
I resigned and I got a payout from them.
Oh, you got a payout.
I
How much did they pay you
nice
out?
fat check. You didn't know that?
Really? Yeah, that's interesting. You did lose your job.
No, I resigned and they gave
Okay.
me a glowing recommendation.
And so it's been 3 years now.
And I
and you've been kind of posting about me ever since then?
No, I actually have been working.
Oh.
But now I'm not because I take care of my son. But I will be going back to work in about 6 months.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So what do you got
But
going
I'm
on
not
here? You
talking
guys
to you because
selling
I
merch?
don't talk to alleged rapists.
What do you guys selling merch here?
I don't
going
talk to alleged rapists.
Oh, you're not talking to one. It's okay.
You are an alleged rapist. Yeah, I know the whole story. I heard every detail and it's disgusting.
So do you support child abuse or no?
I support the
You support a
family
child
of
abuser.
John O'Keefe.
Do you
I support the family of John O'Keefe.
Do you support the 2 children that Catherine Peter abused and
I
lost
don't know what you're talking about.
custody to the state?
I support John
Yeah,
O'Keefe.
it's I guess it's easier to look
I
the other
can't
way,
wait
right?
till you
Look
go
the
to
other way.
prison.
Oh, I won't be going to
Oh,
prison.
you are.
That's okay.
And remember what
If
I
you
told
say
you.
so.
But look, mark my words. January. You don't even know it's coming.
So where are the other blue people? Hello, miss. What's your name?
Hi.
Hi. What's your name?
I'm not going to give my name.
You don't have to. Where are the rest of the blue people?
We didn't really coordinate and try and
You
get.
they didn't feel like coming out today? It's not that important?
Yeah, most of our
Just
people
not
have
that-
jobs.
Have you seen your
Not
people?
like the welfare line over there.
Catherine Peter has a job? I didn't know that. Okay. So so where is everybody then? Like, I mean, where's Jennifer McCabe? Where's her sisters who are out here? Where's Plevin? Nobody wants to come out today? Do you guys kind of like lose your steam a little bit?
Wait. Is somebody talking to us?
Can I ask you something? Is justice for John O'Keefe weather dependent? It appeared because it got a little colder.
I'm here.
See, the
I
pink
mean,
people, the pink people are all here. There's probably like 50 or 60 people here, and there's 2 of you and that little thing, that grumpy little gentleman there. But yeah.
You're
All right.
even uglier in person.
Have you seen your face? Have you seen? I don't know. I think I'm.
Why would she go there?
I don't know.
I mean, why would you go there?
Now hold on. Listen, Turtle. All right. Do I have Turtle? All right.
Oh,
How much are they paying you to lie?
Now hold on. Listen, Turtle.
oh my God.
What do you do? John, why do you lie every day?
I'm live right now.
But why do you lie every day? You go in there and you lie. We read your tweets. You're misrepresenting what's happening there. No, you're lying. You're lying, John. How much are they paying you to lie?
Now, hold on. Listen, Turtle, all right? Do I have to get, you're not supposed to.
Oh my God. It's never going to get old. Is it? All right, back to Laulene's boyfriend.
Or something was floated out there that if Donna Adelson was willing to flip and testify against Wendy Adelson, that she would be given time served and be able to go home and her case would be over.
Whoa.
Whoa. And they would be building that case against Wendy Adelson. Is that right?
Well, it's pretty funny. It was like an innocuous question.
Innocuous question. It turns out this handsome devil here went on that show, Surviving the Neurotic Jewish Mom, and disclosed the fact that Donna turned down a plea deal, which would have given her time served. Basically, she gets out of jail for free if she flipped on Wendy. Let's see what happened.
We're doing it with Joel and Julia from Court TV. They asked Julia, do you think they'd ever give a plea offer to Donna to get Wendy? And, you know, I had this information for like a week or two.
This is something I just heard from a very good source.
I had this information for like a week or two.
Something I just heard.
It didn't mean that much to me. So I said, well, yeah, I heard from a good source that she was offered time served to go against Wendy.
Whoa.
Now, I don't know if it's true or not. I wasn't a recipient of it, but I know the source is a very good source.
Did you hear that there? He didn't know if it was true or not. And it's critical in journalism that you verify whatever your source tells you. So what I want to hear from this little handsome devil is, I made a mistake. In the future, I will verify my source before I make any disclosures. Let's see if we hear that.
And I just thought I'd add that in there because it really wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility of a plea offer.
Of course, a plea offer is within the realm of possibilities, but that doesn't give you the right to go ahead and disclose that one actually exists just because it's plausible.
Lawyers give plea offers all the time. Some are formal, some are in writing, some are just, hey, you think your client wants to cooperate. One of the biggest cases, and it's now on Hulu now, is Mr. and Mrs. It was Brian Winchester, and he was arrested for kidnapping his ex-wife.
Listen to this guy. The question simply was, what was the deal with the plea offer? And now he's giving us some rambling answer. And now he seems to be citing another case.
Denise Winchester. And so every case I get a plea offer. Some are terrible, some are good. But the prosecutor's like, no plea offer in this case. I'm like, it's a attempted kidnapping. You know, she's not hurt. He goes, well, you know. I said, well, I don't know. I was in Tampa. Apparently it was a 19-year-old mystery about.
So is that AI?
I don't know. It seemed kind of weird.
That was AI, wasn't it?
Either that or he was being weird. Let's watch it again.
No, that's
the kidnapping. You know, she's not hurt. He goes, well, you know. I said, well, I don't know. I was in Tampa. Apparently it was a 19.
What do you think? It's definitely AI.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. When he looked down, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
That was weird. But that
And
was
the
cool.
thing he did with his mouth.
Yeah, that was weird. What up, Connor?
Mystery about what happened.
Sitting here wondering where the fuck all of our friends are. This is lying. We're back to lying. Darn, that sucks.
I think everyone's just like popping in and out, you know?
Yeah.
That's right, Jason.
Mike Williams. He goes, well, maybe you ask your client, maybe he has some.
My God, can this guy ramble? What I'm hearing is a lot of deflection, but not enough acknowledgement of the fact that he made a disclosure without verifying it, which is the #1 rule in journalism.
Maybe we'll cut a deal. Now, is that a plea offer? Is that an offer? Technically, yes, it is. It's not firm. It's not in writing. That's how things get started. The state wants something. Your client may have something. You reach in between, you know? It's kind of like buying a car, right? They want to buy it, sell it high. You want to buy it low. So you end up meeting in the middle. Well, you know, as a federal prosecutor, why do the federal prosecutors have a 98% conviction rate?
They don't simply say something based upon an anonymous source without verifying it. The federal government will allow you to continue to commit the crime to make sure that they have an airtight case before they disclose it. And there's a huge problem with this guy. This good-looking Greek attorney is giving him the opportunity to explain how he made such a huge mistake. And all we're hearing is excuses, and the answer is still going. It's now about 2 minutes in.
Because the penalties are so harsh, they take cases they can win, and they get a lot of co-defendants to flip and come in to reduce their sentence. The state attorney does it also, but not as vigorous.
Look like him.
Yeah, that's not his mouth.
Doesn't even look like him. That's not olive oil.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. AI doesn't
Like
know it's
frosted,
real
frosted
consistent,
tips.
olive oil, imported from Italy,
Yeah.
where they in a place where they only make like 3 pints of it. Super smooth. AI, you don't know what you're doing.
Seriously, but you get a shooter, like in this case, Dan Markel, the professor. They cut a deal with Luis Rivera. Okay, Luis was a Latin king. He had come up here twice to try to kill Dan. He was present. He was the driver. He helped get away.
What does any of this have to do with your huge mistake in disclosing something that wasn't true?
They gave him a deal, and you think, why would they give that guy a deal? He's one of the most culpable. But they needed him to get to Sigfredo, right? And then they cut a deal to get Katie, but Katie, for some reason, turned down the alleged offer of immunity twice, went to trial, and then perjured herself the second time. And lo and behold,
You can't blame that good-looking Malaka for falling asleep. The problem is we're listening to a rambling answer with absolutely no admission that this big dope made a huge error.
guess what happens? Charlie gets arrested, and the state calls Katie McBonnell. He's got no credibility whatsoever. I was shocked when they called her. But, okay, so how is Katie going to get out of her life sentence? It's not like they can say, we're going to file to reduce your sentence. They're going to have to set aside that conviction. And there's probably no deal on the table because she would have to disclose that to the defense. So it's like, no, I don't have a deal. But there's probably
Remember, the question, which was about 4 minutes ago, relates to why he said that Donna Sue had a plea offer.
an understanding. Are there some inference? Are there some possibility, right? Because I don't think Katie would do it out of the goodness of her heart when she's serving a
fidget spinner. Fidget spinner. Short attention span theater. The snoring was the AI rendition of LYK, Diane. It was creepy. I don't think Lawlene's gonna like the AI LYK, but she'd probably take him though. Probably take him. I mean, weird face LYK is still better than most.
Yeah.
To this day, our third motion to compel discovery orders. The discovery was due a year ago, Judge, and we still have nothing. And so this woman came to us, Judge, April 21, Patriots Day, came to us Monday, April 21, and we did what a lawyer needs to do in that situation, which is we memorialized it, she signed an affidavit, and we submitted it as further proof upon Mr. Bettero's letter that this information exists. And now we have it from the horse's mouth, Your Honor. So that's the answer to your question. This woman is saying to the affiant that she is working with the Commonwealth, giving all these details about making money, about meeting with these people, about receiving funds. A lot of this has been corroborated by other people on the internet as well, Your Honor, which we're in the process of gathering up. But this affidavit, Judge, was submitted for Mr. Kearney. It's got nothing to do with the Reed case. It has information in it that's important to the Reed case. We are not the Reed case. I'm here today defending Mr. Kearney from these scandalous allegations that just absolutely seek to destroy the First Amendment in Article 16.
Okay, so what's the discovery that you want compelled?
So, Judge, I want all the information from this affidavit and from our motion to compel about Kay Peter. She's a government agent. If this is all true, Your Honor, the DA's office is paying a third-party witness to intimidate witnesses in the Karen Reed and Aidan Kearney case.
So maybe we should hold a hearing on that. Okay. So I'll take this under advisement.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll come up with an order as to how we should proceed on that.
Thank you.
Now, as to Mr. Cosgrove, are there any other issues that you see? Any other motions that you want to bring to my attention? I know that I received a thumb drive earlier today that I've had a chance to review, and I'm sure Mr. Bradle has a copy of that.
Yes, I provided Mr. Bradle with a copy when I saw him earlier this morning. I don't know that he's seen it. I would like to play it for the court if I could.
Yeah, no, you can play it. So, Mr. Bradle, this is Mr. Cosgrove's motion to have your client's bail revoked, I guess.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
If I may, Judge?
No, I'm going to start with Mr. Cosgrove, then I'll go over to you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
As your Honor may know, I'm pretty much a computer illiterate, but unfortunately, I get to this information out now.
Mr. Bradle, you want to come up? Sure.
No way.
So for the record, you're on there, you want to be aware that Louis Marino was a trooper.
Yeah, I was on, who is that? Tell me who Garino is.
He's a trooper in the Karen Reed case, and he's an electronics expert that's.
He ain't no damn electronics expert.
Did the analysis of the two devices of Mr. Kearney's that were already searched, and that aren't really the subject.
That was their problem. They didn't have any type of expert. They just hooked the phone up to the damn box with the right cord, like a kid at the fucking AT&T store. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
No one in MSP is an expert and should not have been who the state relied on in this case, or either case.
I
We need the
would've
taint team.
shit. Been like, hold on, expert. When did we just deem that? Let's do Boston's favorite thing and voir dire. Let's get a voir dire going.
Only for the defense, not the prosecution.
No, they can have whoever they want.
Yeah, because if they say he's good, he's good.
Because Trooper Paul is an expert, Guarino's an expert.
Trooper Paul's explanation was way closer than fucking Man Shannon. And
I was more impressed with Manchin than Welter.
he did find a couple things that nobody else found.
The SD card.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's
does
because
Lexus
there
not
was no
have,
software to read it. It was irrelevant when they first looked.
does Lexus not have people that they would be like, hey, you can?
Yes, of course they do. The same people that. No, I mean, they could have called real experts and really known everything.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but
The defense could have too, but they already had our paid for through the in the defense.
the Commonwealth didn't want to call a real expert because then they would just say that he wasn't hit by a car, and they don't want that. So they need to find fake experts only.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing, Caroline, Forth, that isn't like you notice a lot when you watch other trials is not going to sidebar every 5 seconds and
That's
spending
because they
half
had
the day
speaking
there.
objections.
Yeah, it's normal.
And both sides asked for speaking objections in the second trial. She still said no. That's ridiculous.
No, this is my courtroom.
You're right.
To this whole tainting thing. And also did the analysis in the other case that he mentioned and has been defamed as supposedly missing all kinds of communications, which is not true. He was, as is alluded to, in an unfortunate car accident that Mr. Kearney taking pleasure in. So let me start with a couple of things, Your Honor, if I could just have a moment.
Yep, take your time.
Having had to put this together at the last minute because the presentation just came to my attention the other day, I didn't have directly in front of me the orders that Your Honor entered, although I think I summarized them correctly in my memorandum. But as I understand it, according to the docket on March 5th of this year, after I initially brought this to Your Honor's attention, the docket entry records that the court orders defendant to have no contact, direct or indirect, through third parties with any of the witnesses or victims in this case, and to stay 100 yards away from any victim's residence or place of work. Defendant dissents, bail warning read. Now, as I recall, that was sort of a provisional order, and at that time, even more so than today, I had just got the information relative to Mr. Kearney's antics outside D&E Pizza in Canton. Mr. Bradle hadn't really had time to absorb it. I didn't have police reports to give him. So Your Honor may remember that you put it over to the following day for hearing. After hearing that day, the docket reads as follows: additional conditions of release. 1, stay away. No contact, direct or indirect, with the named witnesses in his Superior Court cases. 2, stay 100 yards away from D&E Pizza in Canton, Mass. 3, behave in an appropriate manner while in any courthouse or within 300 feet of the building. Defendant dissents. Bail warning read. So with that clarification, Your Honor, I'd like to begin. We indicted Mr. Kearney because in our view he was in.
Lawleen, were you surprised at all of the secrecy in the sidebars and
You don't see that.
the Karen Reed case?
And they should be already released. It's ridiculous.
They still hadn't released those sidebar
No,
transcripts?
no,
Well, they're not going to.
they have to eventually, but they're still impounded right now.
Yeah, they'll wait till nobody's asking for them.
They'll wait till she's not a judge anymore or something.
Yeah, slip them in there right in the back of the file and be like, well, they were in there the whole time. You just asked for them. And when you asked for them, we didn't have them. Pretty simple.
It's going to be very interesting to see the arguments, especially about ARCA and the FBI.
Nice. Those would be killer.
Because she could give a good excuse why, except we don't want a trial within a trial. There's a way to avoid that. And Yannetti explained it very simply in his argument. She just did not want to.
Yeah. Definitely would be
Engaged
interesting.
in a campaign of intimidating the witnesses. After we indicted him, one of those methods he essentially ceased, and that was leading parades of automobiles outside witnesses' homes and places of business. But he did not otherwise decease. So what we have here, Your Honor, is the most extreme recent example of Mr. Kearney's behavior. And if I wanted to bring these to the court's attention, I could probably do it about 4 times a week.
Wow, Charlie. Been a while since we've seen Charlie.
Charlie, we've missed you. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, we've been waiting for you to come hang out, tell some jokes.
But just to give you some other examples, if I might, of Mr. Kearney's latest hits.
Go right ahead.
Within a week or two of the last time I brought his behavior to your attention, he was on a live broadcast mocking Elizabeth Proctor, a witness in the Reed case, for thinking she was blue, unquote, or a member of the blue family, because family members were police officers, and because she gave oral sex to her husband, who was a police officer. And he went on in the oral sex menu for some time. One can imagine the effect that that has on a witness, knowing that she's being humiliated in front of hundreds, perhaps thousands of people.
Objection, Your Honor. This has been dealt with by the court.
He's given me some history, so it's overruled. I'll listen to your recitation.
I informed the court the last time, and the court viewed it, of his show up and antics before the Albert's Pizza Shop. I have personally routinely heard him refer to the presiding justice online of the Reed trial as a cunt. He engages in constant defamation, for example, of Jennifer McCabe as a murderer, and he has described the others as murderers. And in general, he is aware and has remarked, I think this is another thing I brought to your Honor's attention the last time, has remarked with satisfaction that the results of his broadcasts, it may be difficult for these people to go out in public without being harassed and without being mocked. I would suggest that Mr. Kearney wanted this communication to be conveyed to Lieutenant Tully, knew to almost a certainty that Lieutenant Tully would see it, wishing death in the most horrible fashion to him and his wife, and knew that that would excite others of Mr. Kearney's followers to pile on, so to speak. I'd like to introduce an exhibit, Your Honor. I provided a copy to Mr. Bradle. I'll give him an opportunity to object, but I would suggest it could be marked for identification.
Yeah, we'll mark it for identification.
And
you could just.
Mr. Bradle wants to object.
Okay.
I think that, Chair, based on relevance, materiality, foundation.
Okay.
Thank you. And just so we're clear, I don't even think the Commonwealth is suggesting this has anything to do with Mr. Kearney sending it. Which, of course, he did not.
Well, I'm happy to agree with what Mr. Bradle, with what Mr. Bradle just said, Your Honor. But it is always Mr. Kearney's response that when these witnesses are deluged with harassment immediately following his broadcast and thereafter, that, of course, he had nothing to do with it. He didn't send it. But he knows what happens. And I would suggest to you, Your Honor, that this is relevant, not because Mr. Kearney sent it, but one, because the court could conclude that it was a logical outcome of the kind of scorn and hatred poured out upon Lieutenant Tully and his family. And two, that Mr. Tully, Lieutenant Tully, who was well familiar with these reactions upon reading or listening to or being informed of Mr. Kearney's broadcast, could reasonably fear reactions from these sort of nuts directed at his wife and family. And I suggest that his reasonable fear is evidence of intimidation of the witness. And on that basis, Your Honor, I would ask that it be marked as an exhibit.
Yeah, we'll mark the disc as the next exhibit.
And I would further ask that it be impounded, because I don't want the comments made in that out there today.
Yeah, I'll impound it. Margaret, here's the disc. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't want to belabor this, Your Honor.
Can I just go back to Attorney Cosgrove?
Yes.
As to Exhibit A, could you explain that to me a little bit more?
One you just marked?
This one right here.
Yes. At about whatever time is indicated on the top of the email, I received that email from Lieutenant Tully indicating that he had received that communication from this person, who, so far as I know, is unknown to all of us. Whether his identification is genuine or pseudonymous, I have no knowledge, and that he received it through LinkedIn. And that's about all the background that I can give you.
To your knowledge, though, this says, well, just like that. What's the
To my
relationship?
knowledge, I do not allege that Mr. Kearney personally sent it.
Okay, I guess that's what I'm
I
asking.
allege, number one, that it may well be, one could infer reasonably that it is the result of Mr. Kearney's broadcast.
Okay, I get it.
And two, one could infer that Lieutenant Tully reasonably anticipated these kinds of responses. You know, I don't know if this is going to be motivated to go out and try to assist in a car accident or in burning things down. And you know, when somebody says to an audience that Jesus told them, Jesus wants revenge, how does that play? And revenge in the form of somebody being burnt up in the most painful way. You know, Mr. Kearney expresses concern that I gather what Lieutenant Tully is supposed to have done to his children is arrest Mr. Kearney on one occasion pursuant to a warrant at the bus stop after Mr. Kearney brought the children off. If Mr. Bradle had looked at the discovery that the Commonwealth turned over the body cameras of the arrest, he would observe the officers carefully waited for the children to get on the bus and be on their way before their father was arrested. But yet, this is continually held out as a crime, while at the same time, Mr. Kearney has no compunction about wishing death on Lieutenant Tully's children and wife. So, Your Honor, I make those two arguments. One, this was posted with the sure and certain knowledge and intent that it comes to Lieutenant Tully's attention, which in fact has happened. And two, I make the point that a no contact order means no contact. The content, you know, before Your Honor, here's the First Amendment argument. The content of the contact is irrelevant as far as whether there was a violation of the rule. And I'd just like to call Your Honor's attention, if I can do it, to a case that I cited in my memorandum to Your Honor. I believe I cited it for another purpose, but it's O'Brien versus Borowski at 461 Mass 14. In the course of that case, the court refers to the Cho case on page 424 of the opinion. And it summarizes that case as follows. The defendant produced flyers with the word missing printed in large type across the top, between which was a photograph of a former girlfriend who had broken up with him, and offensive sexual remarks about her. And he then hung the flyers in several places in her high school. He's convicted under a statute which criminally punishes persons with offensive and disorderly acts of language that posture annoy persons of the opposite sex. We, that's the appeals court, concluded that the defendant's criminal conviction for this communication did not violate the First Amendment because it was a true threat that had no expressive purpose, but was instead intended to get back at the victim by placing her in fear that she might suffer some sexual harm or wind up going missing. Your Honor can look a long time, I think, at the language of Mr. Kearney's message in an attempt to distinguish it from the Cho case in terms of the language having no expressive purpose, but instead being intended to get back at Lieutenant Tully by placing him in fear that he or his family might suffer some harm. In fact, what other meaning are we to draw from revenge? Revenge. But Apart from that, Your Honor.
Lolene, you hear that? You better be.
Bring it, Coffee.
Gotta be careful. They'll fly you up here.
Costco's got
I
jurisdiction
haven't had a
in
vacation in a
Louisiana.
long time.
He's got all of Louisiana under his belt. He can
Yeah.
file there.
I'm ready.
He just told you. You better be. Don't be surprised.
I'm fixing to intimidate Danny.
I am not a witness to anything. Me and Barry
It
B
says
were.
any potential witnesses or people who may attend a trial, and there's no telling what your future holds, Danny.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right. You're right. And I am slightly intimidated.
Potentially be a witness.
Mhm. I could potentially be intimidated, either one.
Both.
Connor, you can also get indicted. I'm on vacation and feeling
I
special.
don't want Connor on my table, though. We need to
No,
separate
Connor,
those trials.
2 for Tuesday. 2 for Tuesday, Casa.
He might
Yeah.
actually have some from Connor.
Yeah. Let's don't fuck around with that. Let's move on.
No, I've never seen you at one of these protests before. What made you decide to come out today for the first time? Your support.
I don't think that any family should have to walk into court getting booed and harassed.
Do you support the McAlberts who murdered John O'Keefe?
Let's be real.
You know
I
she's
support-
guilty.
Oh, no, of course the McAlberts murdered. Yes, Jennifer McCabe is completely guilty. I agree. So you agree?
Let's
Okay.
be real. You know she's guilty.
So what will
You're
you do?
crazy. You know
What
she's
will you
guilty.
do if and
know
when
she's
Jennifer
guilty.
McCabe is arrested or indicted by the FBI? What will you do?
You know.
Will you just pretend this never
You
happened?
know Karen Reed's guilty.
Will you just pretend this never happened?
I don't think that will ever happen.
But if it did, but if it does, what will you do?
I mean, I care about the truth and justice coming out. But
So if Jennifer McCabe is indicted, you will support Karen Reed after that, if she's indicted.
no, because she's encouraged the harassment of
The things,
many
that,
people.
the things that you have
but
said
Jen-
about
okay.
John's family in particular.
Will you
and John's
will you
mother,
will you still support Jennifer McCabe if she's indicted?
I don't think that day will ever come.
But what if it does? If
it
if
won't come.
it if
It's not-
it
it's
but if it
weird.
happens, will you support
It's
her
not
still?
even happening.
But if it does, would you support her if she was indicted?
It's not happening.
'Cause
So
I'm-
it's a moot point.
Well, because some have said that they would. Some have said that they would stick by her even if she was indicted.
Yeah, I mean,
Would you?
I don't think that will ever happen. There's no evidence. There's.
But if it did,
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals that are just so unrealistic.
you can't say with full
I think it's
conviction.
a silly question.
So you don't know. You don't know if you'd support her if she was indicted. You don't know.
I'm saying, like, I'm not going to talk about a hypothetical that I don't think would ever happen. I support
The family of
victim,
John O'Keefe. Yes.
family, and
So do we. We also support the
You
victims.
talk about his mother, and it's disgusting.
I don't know what he said. Excuse me? I don't even know what he said.
Somebody's coming in over
Is it the family?
Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you guys. We'll talk
Tina.
later. Okay.
Sounds great.
Have a nice day.
Can't wait.
Did you hear Dina pop in? You're muted.
I said, was it in the background?
Yeah. She's like, someone's coming in over there. Because she's always like, running the show down there. I love her for that.
Yeah.
Hey, Cossie, I think Nantucket is better than Martha's Vineyard. So you're in a stupid place.
Yes, you are.
What do you do? John, why do you lie every day?
I'm live right now.
But why do you lie every day?
Oh,
You go in there and you lie. We read your tweets. You're misrepresenting what's happening there. No, you're lying. You're lying, John. How much are they paying you to lie?
Now hold on. Listen, Turtle. All right. Do I have to get? You're not supposed to be doing this. This is supposed to be the buffer zone. You're not supposed to be doing this.
Doing what?
And on top of it, you're
You don't like when
interrupting
people ask questions?
right now.
You ask Karen Reed questions.
I'm live read right now.
But, so you're allowed to ask questions, but I'm not?
Yeah, but she's not broadcasting and I am. So
No, I'm broadcasting.
Trooper. This individual to move along instead of interrupting.
So, Mary B. Lawleen,
Yes.
do you want to leave and go and ride turtles, or do you want to watch the Adelson testimony? Just keep going.
I hate making decisions. Can we flip a coin?
I can
No.
always watch Turtleboy tonight, so I'm good with staying.
Do what now?
I said I can always watch Turtleboy tonight. I'm good with staying.
I might do that. Might just keep on trucking. Since
All right.
So you picking up where y'all left off last night or
so
today?
anybody that wants to stay and hang out, we'll take off the ADHD theater and we'll put on the Adelson testimony, starting where we left off with Wendy and then into today. I think we can do that. What you think?
Wendy, the brother, and then an officer all yesterday before today.
Yeah, we gotta get the brother.
Yesterday.
Ever talking about me? Jeez.
No, she's not. You know who she's talking about.
I don't.
Oh, Cassie G.
So you can check that. It's actually.
What do you do? John, why do you lie every day?
I'm live right now.
But why do you lie every day? You go in there and you lie. We read your tweets. You're misrepresenting what's happening there. No, you're lying. You're lying, John. How much are they paying you to lie?
Now, hold on. Listen, Turtle. All right. Do I have to get? You're not supposed to be doing this. This is supposed to be the buffer zone. You're not supposed to be doing this.
Doing what?
And on top of it, you're
You don't like when people ask questions?
Right now.
You ask Karen Reed questions.
I'm live read right now.
But so you're allowed to ask questions, but I'm not?
Yeah, but she's not broadcasting and I am. So
No, I'm broadcasting.
Trooper. This individual to move along instead of interrupting. So you can check that. It's actually a policy that you're not supposed to interrupt a broadcast. So, all right, you can keep filming me like that. So with your glasses. So why don't you go tell them that you want them and their families to burn to death in their homes? Okay, that is certainly the words of a domestic terrorist.
I don't want that.
Yes, you do want that.
No, not at all.
Now listen, I've asked you 4 times, and you can look it up. You're not supposed to interrupt the broadcast. You go over there and do that. I'm live right now, right? And he is coming over and interrupting broadcasts. And I'm actually on the radio, and there's a policy that you're not supposed to interrupt someone doing a broadcast like this. So could you ask him to move along? What is your point of being?
Well, I was just trying to ask him a question.
No, he's interrupting. You can wait till I'm done at 2 o'clock. You can wait till I'm done at 2 o'clock.
Am I not allowed to ask him a question?
No.
I mean, I'm trying to start it.
Yes, you are trying to start something. As he's filming.
Well, I'm not the one that got the police.
I'll talk to you at 2 o'clock.
We don't want to make a big deal.
I definitely don't want to make a big deal.
You are going to make a big deal.
Well, okay, John. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I'll get going. But I mean, what the heck, John? I mean, I'm just asking a question.
Why don't you go ask when someone's doing a live broadcast?
Because he asked Karen Reed the other day on the way into court. He asked her about OJ. Remember, you asked her about OJ. You go, was OJ framed?
Yes.
So he can ask questions to Karen Reed, but I can't ask questions to him.
She wasn't broadcasting. What part of that? I know that all your fans are down there.
Well, what law says that I can't ask a journalist? I can't ask a journalist. Okay, John, if you say so.
I don't want to talk. He's a domestic terrorist.
Boom.
Did he just call him a domestic terrorist? I never knew that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did in the middle too.
Yeah.
What a dumbass.
Definitely. All right. Well, y'all asked for it. So here we go. But I get it. I might go back and forth to Turtleboy too. But we really need to get this shit on tape. You know what I mean?
I heard you.
I know. But I said, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know if that's any different.
I heard you means yes,
I don't know if that's
if you're cool.
ooh. Something else started in my headphones. Sorry. It's weird when that happens. Here we go.
Did you also say, well, my parents sounded really surprised, so that's at least a relief?
Yes, I see that here.
No further questions.
Just one moment, Your Honor. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
I represent your mother in this case. You've never spoken to me about this case, correct?
I have not.
I guess the best place to start is where you left off with respect to the comments that you made regarding your mother taking it well. When's the last time you listened to that call?
I haven't listened to it. Listened to the call I had with my mom. I've never listened to it.
Well, from the interview room, you've never listened to
Y'all be nice to Kazi. Don't get us all fucking felonies, man. Got on plate.
your interview?
I have read the transcript of my interview, but I never listened to my interview.
You don't recall the shock in your mother's voice when you told her what had happened?
I do think she was shocked.
You could hear that over the phone, correct?
Yes.
Some of the topics were covered. I'm gonna have to kind of skip around, okay? Katie McDaniel, Catherine McDaniel, I guess we call her Katie. There was a picture of you with her at the beach, and there was another young lady there. Recall that?
I recall the picture, yes.
And that was Father's Day weekend, I guess, of 2014.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think your testimony was that really you only knew her with Charlie. Is that right?
That's right.
Was Charlie at the beach?
No.
Your mother wasn't there either, was she?
No.
And then I think you mentioned that you had
Most annoying Southern phrase. I'm going to tell it to you right now. Are you ready? Take it mine now. Take it mine now. Take it mine now. Yep. People say it. Oh my God. And the people that say it about everything. Take it mine.
dinner with Katie?
And my brother.
Okay. Was that before you went to the beach?
It was a different time.
Do you recall if it was before then?
It was before, but several months before.
Several months before.
Mhm.
Okay. So if this was Father's Day, when do you think you actually met her for the first time?
I think I met her when I was doing the alternative spring break, so that's usually March or April.
Same year?
Same year.
And the dinner that was mentioned, is that the first place you ever met her?
That's the first place I remember meeting her.
And who all was there?
It was my brother and Katie and Jeff and I. Jeff Lacasse.
I'm sorry, how do you pronounce it?
Lacasse.
Lacasse. Okay, so the four of you were there. Your mother was not there.
No.
I want you to, it's been 11 years, so a lot I'm sure has happened to you in the past 11 years. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And your memory may not be as good as it was of things that happened back then, now that 11 years has passed. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. As best you can, I want you to take yourself out of the year 2025 and go back to the years somewhere like 2010 through 2014 when Mr. Markell was murdered, okay?
Okay.
In that time frame are going to be most of the questions that I ask you.
Okay.
I think you testified you had a brother, Charlie,
Yes.
and you have a brother, Rob.
Yes.
So that was a five-member family.
Yes.
Okay. And Rob's the oldest.
Yes.
Charlie's the middle.
Yes.
And you're the baby.
Yes.
And you grew up in a household where, was your mother working when you were younger?
No.
Okay. She stayed home with the kids.
She did.
And at some point she went back into teaching, which is what she had done before she had her first child, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And she did that after you were in school. Is that right?
Yes.
And then you all went to school, grade school, high school. You grew up, right?
Yes.
Each one of you went off to college.
Yes.
Each one of you got a postgraduate degree.
Yes.
So you're an attorney.
Yes.
Charlie became a periodontist.
Yes.
Which is someone who does surgery related to dentistry, correct?
Yes.
And then Rob's a doctor as well.
Yes.
And throughout the time that you all were going to college, your parents helped support you.
Yes.
Every one of you.
Yes.
And you had a good childhood.
I did.
And your mom took good care of you all.
Yes.
She treated you well.
Yes.
Very kind.
Yes.
Very loving.
Yes.
Very caring towards her family and others.
Yes.
I think you once described her as being kind, empathetic, and very loving and sensitive person. Do you recall that?
I don't recall that, but that sounds right.
That she radiates positivity.
Yes.
She has a very loving and respectful and fun relationship with my dad. They are very much in love. Now it's been 54 years.
It has.
You said your mom was completely selfless.
Yes.
That's the opposite of selfish.
It is.
It means she's caring more about others than she does about herself.
Yes, ma'am.
And what she did was for others.
Yes.
Never doing anything for herself.
Correct.
She was invested in your lives.
Yes.
You, and both your brothers.
Yes.
Okay. You were a close family.
Yes.
And would you say she was a good mother to you?
Yes. Very good mother.
And a very good grandmother as well.
Yes.
When you had your first child, and you needed someone to help out, your mother came.
She did.
And she spent time there.
Yes.
And when the baby was crying in the middle of the night so that you could get some rest, she took care of the baby.
She did.
And she did that for both of your children.
Yes.
Fair to say that your mom has always been there for you when you needed her?
Yes.
For little things and good things.
Yes.
Now, you said that you testified that you left Danny in September of 2012. You recall that?
Yes.
From September of 2012 until March of 2013, your mother actually spent quite a bit of time helping you with the boys in Tallahassee, correct?
She did. Yes.
She would go home and take care of things there, but she would return.
Yes.
So a substantial amount of each month, she was there assisting you with the children.
Yes.
While you were at work, she may take them to school. Is that correct? Their daycare?
I don't remember that one, whether I dropped them at school or my mom did, but it's certainly possible that she took them to school.
She might have picked them up.
Yes.
She did some housework, cleaning up around the house.
Yes.
She bought groceries.
Yes.
She cooked.
Yes.
She cleaned.
Yes.
She was there for you because you had just left a marriage where you had a partner helping you, and now you were adjusting to being by yourself, correct?
Yes.
Now, at the time, this time period we're talking about, your mother lived in, where did you say, Coral Springs?
Coral Springs.
And where's that in relation to Miami?
It's Broward County, so it's the county north of Dade County, which is where Miami is.
And Broward County, that's like where Fort Lauderdale is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And their dentist practice that they had that's been referred to Adelson Institute.
Yes.
That was located in Broward County, correct?
It was, yes.
Not far from where your parents lived.
Yes, in Tamarack, so close to Coral Springs.
And at some point, they got the place down in Miami, right?
Yes.
So what they were doing was they would work Monday through Thursday and stay at their home in Coral Springs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they would go and spend the weekend at the place in Miami. Is that right?
I don't think every weekend, but some weekends.
Some of them.
Yeah.
And you visited there?
I did.
Now, when your mother would come up to assist you or just to visit with you and the children and Danny, did you drive typically or fly?
I think sometimes drive, sometimes fly.
Okay. And
Most of the time drive, I think.
most of the time drive. And that's almost an 8-hour trip, correct?
It is, yes.
And at the time that this occurred, your mother would have been, when Danny was murdered, she would have been, let's say, 64-ish.
That sounds right.
She's 75 now. Yes?
Yes.
And sometimes she would rent cars, is that right?
Yes.
As opposed to driving her vehicle?
Yes.
Your father came sometimes as well to help out?
Yes.
I'm going to talk about Mr. Markell for a few minutes. I think you said you met online.
We did.
You were attracted to him.
Yes.
He was a handsome young man.
Yes.
You're a beautiful young woman.
Thank you.
And you got married.
We did, yes.
And there were times, I mean, we've heard about the divorce, but before the divorce, there were times where you had a happy marriage.
Yes.
And you all enjoyed spending time together.
Yes.
The two of you together and with your children.
Yes.
And even your parents who would come up and spend time with you.
Yes.
And your parents actually took you and Danny on vacations, right?
Yes.
There was one trip where they took you out of the country and you went ziplining. Do you remember that?
Yes, we went to Costa Rica.
And after the ziplining is when you told them that you were pregnant, correct?
I went ziplining pregnant, yes.
You would agree with me that Danny, I'm saying Danny because that's what people call him. I'm not trying to be disrespectful of him.
No, I called him Danny.
Okay. You would agree that he was very intelligent.
Yes, very.
He had 2 degrees from Harvard, correct?
Yes.
Undergraduate and law school.
Yes, ma'am.
He did a lot of writing.
Yes.
And at the time that he was murdered, he was a tenured professor at the College of Law here at FSU, correct?
Yes.
And becoming tenured is not like an automatic thing. You have to work towards that, right?
Yes.
It takes a lot of time.
It does.
A lot of effort. He put in a lot of work to gain that status.
Yes.
And he traveled to go and speak at different places, right?
Yes.
And he was well respected by his colleagues.
Yes, very.
And after he had children, those became the love of his life, didn't they?
Yes.
And even after you separated, I think you would agree with me that Danny made a great deal of effort to get as much time with his children as he could. Is that fair?
Yes, absolutely.
Even when it was your time to have the children, he would go to their preschool and visit with them there.
Yes.
He wanted to talk to them on the phone when he didn't have them.
Yes.
And he wanted to Skype with them.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. And that, I'm sorry, I'm old, but that involved like a computer where you can see each other while you're talking. Is that right?
I think now it's something you could do on the phone, but back then you needed a computer.
And you assisted with that?
I did.
Not necessarily the schedule he wanted.
I'm sorry?
You didn't necessarily keep the schedule that Danny wanted for Skyping, right?
I did try.
You tried?
Yes.
But that was one of the things you two bickered about.
It was.
And during the time that you were with Danny, your mother was always kind to him, wasn't she?
She was.
Before you got married to him?
Yes.
While you were married to him?
Yes.
While you were separated?
Yes.
And after the divorce?
Yes.
And there's been a lot of testimony and a lot of pictures put up, lots of things highlighted about the ugly things that your mother said about Danny during the course of the separation, divorce, and the follow-up litigation, right?
Yes.
And you shared, as you've testified, some of the pleadings that were followed.
Yes.
And some of the pleadings were very attractive towards you, were they?
No.
They described things that were derogatory towards you. Is that fair?
Yes.
And the communications that you had with Danny during the separation, leading up to the divorce, and some thereafter, were pretty critical of you, weren't they?
The communication on paper, which was very different than the communication in person.
Right. But the paperwork was critical.
Yes.
And you shared that with your mom.
Yes.
And some of the things that he said to you in writing, whether they were communications or in the pleadings, upset you.
Yes.
Some of it was very upsetting to you.
Yes.
And you shared it with your mother, and then she became upset.
Yes.
And she said bad words.
Yes.
She called him a lot of bad names.
Yes.
She said ugly things about him.
Yes.
But not one single time did she ever suggest in writing or to you personally that Danny deserved to be harmed, did she?
Never.
Never said he needed to be killed.
Never.
Never suggested any harm to him in any way.
Never.
And those things that she said to you in the emails, the communications, I assume that you all thought were between yourselves, you never shared those with Danny, did you?
No.
And during the separation, well, during the time you're married, you've already established, but during the separation, if Danny needed help with the children, your mother assisted him, didn't she?
He had called her and asked for help at various times, and she did.
And after the divorce, the same thing, correct?
He would call and ask for help, and she would help.
I'm going to show you what has been entered into evidence in State's Exhibit 60, and I think they refer to it as JJ. Okay. And this would be your, it's going to fall with you.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
no problem.
I can't get this over for some reason. But this has been referred to as the pleadings that are within your dissolution file.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to leave that with you. Okay.
Okay.
Just look at that document, the JJ for you.
Yes. You want me to just keep reading through it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I want you to familiarize yourself with it.
Okay.
Okay. Prior to you filing your petition for dissolution, you want me to come and get that?
No, it's okay.
Prior to filing your petition for dissolution, what kind of experience did you have regarding divorce proceedings?
I'm trying to understand the question.
Yeah,
So
sure.
prior to filing the dissolution of marriage,
Yes.
there weren't any divorce proceedings prior to filing.
I guess what I'm saying is because you're an attorney, were you familiar with family law?
No.
Had you participated in any helping anybody with their dissolution of marriage?
I had not.
Completely unfamiliar with the process.
I was unfamiliar with the process.
And that pleading that's before you, are you back on the front page of that?
I can get back to the front page. I'm on the front page.
And could you read for the jury what the title of that pleading is?
Yes, ma'am. Former husband's counter motion for enforcement of MSA on parenting issues and motion for contempt and sanctions.
Doesn't say grandmother motion, does it?
No.
And in fact, the overwhelming majority of that motion relates to Danny's complaints about you and parenting issues, correct?
It does, yes.
And in fact, what they call the grandmother part of that motion is really Danny complaining about you not meeting the requirements of the right of first refusal, correct?
That's correct.
Because his complaint is that if you gave him the right of first refusal, some of the times he could take it and the children would be with him instead of the grandmother.
Yes.
It wasn't actually suggesting that from this point forward, your mother could no longer have anything but supervised visitation, correct?
I didn't see it that way.
Okay. And in any event, your mother never saw that motion, did she?
No, she didn't.
Now, the state has referred to this bribe. You've heard him talk about that, correct?
I believe so.
They suggested, because I think there are emails that we discussed this, about potentially offering Danny $1 million.
Yes.
And your understanding of what was trying to take place there, because you actually put that in writing, was it wasn't to take the children away from Danny, was it?
No.
It was in hopes that he would relocate to Miami as well, correct?
Yes.
And that although you would live separate lives, you could raise your children together, correct?
Yes.
Because there were more opportunities for him, Danny, to practice his Jewish faith in Miami than there is in Tallahassee, correct?
Correct.
They have kosher food in Miami.
Yes.
Lots of it.
Yes.
They don't have that in Tallahassee.
No.
And the $1 million offer was not to bribe him in what sounds like an illegal sense. It was an incentive for him to relocate himself to Miami, correct?
Yes. That was my understanding. Yes.
You lived there with him before.
Yes.
And he liked living there.
Yes, he
In
liked
fact-
it very much.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, that's okay. I was just saying he liked it very much.
In fact, he tried to get a professorship at the University of Miami School of Law.
He did.
And if he had gotten that, the plan between you and he was to stay in Miami, correct?
We would have, yes.
But he didn't get it. And so he had already been employed by FSU College of Law, right?
Yes.
And so you moved up here and finished law school and you all remained in this area.
Yes.
So the $1 million would offset, as the state has mentioned, travel expenses if he moved there, correct?
Right.
He only taught 2 days a week, right?
Yes.
And so that would have given him the opportunity to live in Miami, but for the 2 days a week he needed to be in Tallahassee, he could take plane trips, right?
Yes.
And be here.
Yes.
And if you all had done that, he still could have enjoyed 50% parenting time with his children, right?
That would have been the same. Yes.
It wasn't to take him away from his kids.
No.
We're going to talk about relocation more than once, but I just want to make sure I understand how that all came about, okay? So it was, you left the marital home in August or September of 2012.
I think it was September.
Okay. So you separated officially in 2012.
Yes.
By the time he was murdered, almost 2 years had passed.
Yes.
Do I understand it correctly that somewhere around October or November of 2012 that you interviewed for a job at a law firm in Miami?
I did.
And that was the Grossman firm?
I think it's Grossman and Roth.
Okay. And somewhere around December of 2012, they made you an offer.
They did.
And I don't need to know numbers, but was it substantially more than you were making in Tallahassee?
It wasn't. It was just more secure.
More secure. Okay. Not more money?
No, it was more money, but it just, more than anything, it was secure money as opposed to grant money that could be taken away.
Okay. So you were a professor also at the law school here in Tallahassee?
I was.
FSU?
Yes.
You were not tenured?
No, I was a clinical professor.
Okay. So being tenured means you have more stability in your job.
Yes, you have more job security.
Job security. Okay. And so you got that offer in December, and sometime in January, you told Danny that you had a good job offer, correct?
Yes, I asked to meet with him and we went to get coffee and talk about it.
Okay. And in part of that discussion, you asked him if he would consider all of you, not together, but all of you
Yes.
relocating to Miami, correct?
I did.
And he was going to consider that,
He
correct?
said he was considering it. He wasn't opposed to it.
You thought it would be good for all of you, correct?
I thought it could be.
Including the boys.
Yes.
He decided he didn't want to do it, right?
He changed his mind.
But you didn't change your mind, right?
No, I kept going with it.
So you filed a motion for temporary relocation, and you also amended your petition for dissolution to add relocation, correct?
I did.
Okay. At the time that you filed it, do you think you had a good shot at it?
I thought I had a shot. I didn't really know. It would depend on the judge.
Okay. And we'll go back to it later, but I guess on June the 18th of 2013, which would be right before your divorce was finalized, right? You had a hearing on your motion for relocation.
Yes.
And the state has already presented in its exhibits a copy of the order, and relocation was denied, correct?
It was.
And after relocation was denied, you and Danny were able to work out some kind of temporary schedule for the summer.
We were.
Okay. And then you proceeded forward, and there's been discussion. There was a mediation that did not resolve your divorce. But within a few days thereafter, you did come to an agreement with Danny, correct?
We did.
You agreed to all of the issues in the dissolution of marriage, right?
Yes.
Including how you were going to share time with him.
Yes.
Was it ever your intention in the dissolution proceedings from the time that you moved out of your marital home that you would actually take the children's custody completely away from Danny so that he couldn't see them?
No.
Did you always want them to be a big part of his life?
Of course.
He loved them and they loved him.
Yes.
I have just a bunch of oddball questions at this point. Do you recall getting emails from your mother?
Yes.
And your father?
Well, yes, from both, from the same email.
And I think you had a necklace at some point during that time period that said, never, never, never give up.
I did.
And your parents would sometimes put that in the emails back to you, correct?
Yes.
I need to know if you recall this. Your parents, you had mentioned when they went out of the country, you used the WhatsApp to communicate with them because it was free of charge.
Yes.
And you could call them free of charge?
Yes.
And you could message with them free of charge?
Both, yes.
Okay. And when your parents would go out of town, do you recall that they had a routine where your mother would take her phone, but your father would not get the plan to travel with? Do you recall that?
That sounds right.
Okay. And wasn't that because if you called the Adelson Institute and you got the answering machine, it was an old-fashioned answering machine, right?
Yes.
And what it gave out if you reached the answering machine was your father's cell phone number.
Yes.
So he didn't want to be contacted when he was out of town, and that's what people would get, right?
Yes.
The birthday party that's been mentioned for your dad, it was his 70th birthday?
It was.
And although I don't think it ended up being a surprise, your mom was trying to plan a party for him where he knew his children and grandchildren would be there, but she was trying to surprise him with her friends.
That's right.
And you might have helped her with some of those preparations.
I think so.
You planned it for several months, right?
Yes.
And I think one of the things that you got involved with was a caterer that was going to be used to cook paella. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. At the party.
It's pronounced paella. I remember on the night of, I speak Spanish, so I spoke with him in Spanish because I don't think he spoke much English.
And mommy, your mother didn't speak Spanish, right?
No.
Okay. You weren't actually making the order and buying it, correct?
No, I didn't pay for anything.
May I put your honor? I'm sorry. It's still Adelson, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Adelson, I'm going to approach and show you what trademark, just for identification purposes, as 49J, and ask you to look at that and tell me if you've ever seen that before.
I have seen this before.
Okay, and that's an email that your father sent to you regarding the appointment that he had made for the TV to be repaired, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And on the front page, you can see where he's forwarding it to you, and it says, "Love, Dad," right?
Yes.
And then he tells you when the appointment's going to be, Friday the 18th between 8 and 12, right?
Yes.
And then when you flip, well, now stay on the first page. Do you see down almost 2/3 of the way down where it has the order information and the order creation date?
Yes.
And that date was what?
The order creation date is July 11th, 2014.
Okay. And on the next page, where the problem description is, it says that Harvey called in, stated that the 55-inch TV screen had some problems, right?
Yes.
Go to the next page. It repeats about the complaint that your father had about what was wrong with the TV, right?
Yes.
If you scroll down, there's some questions under date submitted, right?
Yes.
Whether the TV is well mounted.
Yes.
What the size of the TV is.
Yes.
If it's mounted over 6 feet high.
Yes.
If the height of the ceiling.
Yes.
Is it eligible for a loaner?
Yes.
Was it installed by the Geek Squad?
Yes.
Is the product that we're going to service in a place of business?
So I'm saying yes that I see these questions, but the answer to that question is no.
Right. Okay. That's what I was going to point out. So your dad said no to that one,
Right.
Is the product that we are going to service in a place of business, and your dad answered no, correct?
He answered no.
And the next one says what?
Would you be willing to accept a sooner appointment if one became available? And the answer to that one is yes.
Thank you. Ms. Adelson, you testified on direct when asked some questions about the name change of your children. You recall those questions?
Yes.
Okay. And I think your testimony was that you officially changed your children's last names a year and a half? What did you say?
I legally changed them a year after Danny's death.
Okay. But after he passed away and you went to Miami, it was time for your oldest child to be enrolled in kindergarten, right?
Yes.
And so what were the ages of the children when Danny was murdered?
They were almost 5 and 3.5.
Okay. And so the 5-year-old was going into kindergarten.
Yes.
And where was the other child going to be? Was he being put in a preschool program?
It was a preschool program.
Okay. And so you went and registered them at the school, correct?
Yes.
And the official registration said Markel for the children's last names, correct?
I believe so.
But because you were going to socially refer to them as Adelson, that's what you asked the school to do as well, right?
Yes.
And so when you went into orientation for the oldest child, I'm trying not to say the name, when you went into orientation for the oldest child for kindergarten, and they had his little nameplate there where he was going to sit at his desk, it said last name Adelson, right?
I honestly don't remember him having a last name. I remember his first name being there, but I don't remember. I thought they put the first names for the kindergartners.
But you asked the school to refer to him by the last name Adelson.
I did.
And so there was an exhibit that was shown to you where your mother had registered him for an after-school flag football, right?
Right.
And so because the school's knowing his name that he's being referred to as Adelson, that's why she did that, correct?
Correct.
And the youngest one, where was he going to go? Or where did he go?
He was at a preschool, a private preschool, because he was too young to go to the preschool at the public elementary school.
Okay. And whether it was your mother or your father who wrote the email about signing up and grandpa's coming with him to, I'm sorry, I'm not Jewish. I didn't understand what that was.
It's okay. Tot Shabbat would have been, like a Sabbath activity where the grandparents would come and sing songs and something like that.
And so the younger one's also being known as last name Adelson.
Yes.
Okay. Because socially, that's what you wanted them to go forward with.
I thought it would make them safer.
Okay. There was some questions of you on direct about potentially purchasing a home after the divorce was final in 2013. You recall those questions?
I do.
And it was suggested that Charlie convinced you not to do that, right?
That was what was suggested.
But in fact, the reason I think you stated was because you hadn't gotten your settlement yet from Mr. Markel.
Right. I didn't have the money to purchase a home.
And so even though you had been interested in it, you had to notify your realtor that
it wasn't possible at that time.
Okay. And in the emails that the state introduced and discussed with you, where your mother is making lots of suggestions, mostly after relocation was denied, things that you could do, like tell Danny you're going to raise them as Catholics, you're going to have them baptized as Catholics, all of those suggestions she was making, correct? Yes. She wasn't actually suggesting you do it. She was wanting you to use that as a means of negotiating with Danny, right? That's my understanding. That if he thought maybe you were going to do these things, he would reconsider the issue of relocation, correct? Correct. You testified that your mother hated Danny at the time that he was killed. Do you remember saying that? I believe I said that. But the week before he died, your mother was babysitting for Danny, wasn't she? Yes. And nothing but pleasantries between the two of them. That's right. And in fact, she actually made him banana bread specifically the way he liked it, right? It was his favorite. Without nuts, but with chocolate chips. That's right. But you think she hated him? I think she was mad at him. Mad at him. There's a difference between being mad at someone and hating them, isn't there? There is. I think you testified that, and there may have been an email that suggested it, that you would have never left Danny if not for your mom and maybe brother's suggestions. Did you say that? I don't think that was exactly right. I think it was, I probably wouldn't have left, kind of suggesting that maybe I would have wanted to, but wouldn't have had the strength or wherewithal to leave on my own. Okay, isn't it true that each year, maybe not every year, but many years, yourself and Danny would, when you finished the school session here at FSU College of Law, you would go down to Coral Springs or Miami, whichever they were at, and you would spend almost 2 weeks with your parents, right? Yes. And that would be yourself and Danny when it was just you, right? Yes. And then after you had the children, all of you went down there, correct? Yes. Well, in fact, what really happened was in the summer of 2012, when you decided that you were going to leave Danny, Danny was down there with you, correct? Yes. And the children were there too? Yes. And they were young. How old were they? In 2012, they would have been 2 and 3. Okay. And Danny was there, and you actually asked your mom if she'd go out to coffee with you. Remember that? I don't remember that. And you told her then that you were going to leave Danny and get a divorce, didn't you? That sounds right, but I don't remember that. Okay. And in fact, she suggested counseling to you, and you told her you guys had already been in counseling and it didn't work. Isn't that right? We had been in counseling and it hadn't worked, but again, this sounds like something that could have happened, but I just don't remember the coffee. There was also questions of you, several questions about your interview with law enforcement the day that Danny was shot. Do you recall those questions from the state? I do recall the questions. And they were pointing out things that you had said about your family, your parents, Charlie. Remember those questions? I do. Isn't it true that when you were interviewed by law enforcement, what you said initially was that Danny's parents were going to think that you're the one who did it, right? I did say that. I wanted to talk about the relocation a little bit. So you have a relocation hearing on June the 18th. Does that sound right? 2013? Yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay. And leading up to that hearing, you notified your mother by email that because she was going to be testifying in court, she would need to wait outside that hearing, correct? I don't remember that, but that if she was supposed to be a witness, then she couldn't be present for the hearing. May I approach, Ron? I'm going to show you, oh my goodness, I can't read that. I'm going to show you what's been marked by identification purposes for Defense Exhibit 49B. You can just read that for yourself. Do you want me to read to the end? No, ma'am, I'm just looking for where you told your mother, get you to agree that you said to her, because you are testifying in court, Mom, you won't be able to sit in on the hearing with me. Is that what you said? Yes, but I can have Dad there. Okay. Come and get it from you? Okay. Sometime in April of 2013, so that would be not long before your divorce was final, you took a trip. I don't know if you were speaking there or someone else was, but you took a trip out of town with a gentleman named Miguel. Do you recall that? I don't recall the trip, but I was seeing Miguel at the time. You do recall the trip? Well, I was seeing Miguel at the time, but I don't know what the trip was in April of 2013. I don't remember that. Can you tell me where we went? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Puerto Rico. Does that sound familiar? It was a clinical law professor conference. There's one every year, and that year it was in Puerto Rico. Okay. And did you speak at that, or you were there to get credit hours or something? No, I spoke. I'm going to now show you what's been marked for identification purposes as Defendant's Exhibit 1E. And it's dated April the 28th of 2013 and addressed Dear Renee. You don't need to read it all. You familiarize yourself with everything. Okay, I've read a little bit. Do you want me to? No, that's okay. Okay. I'll point out any sections that I wanted to discuss with you. Would you agree that you wrote this on April the 28th of 2013? Yes, it looks like I dated it. Okay, and that's to Renee? Yes. And you're coming back from your trip to Puerto Rico? Yes. And while you were on this trip, your parents were taking care of the boys, correct? Yes. Okay. And on the first page down towards the bottom, you have some bullet points about what you would like to do to resolve your divorce, correct? Well, I think it was not just about my divorce. It was kind of about how I wanted to be living my life overall. Yeah, I was trying not to get into the personal information, but that's right. This entire email is really about changes you want to make in your life, correct? Yes. Okay. And the last bullet point down at the bottom, it says, I've been coming to a place in the last few months where I have realized that I want to keep my job. It allows me the maximum amount of flexibility to spend with my kids while allowing the freedom for intellectual exploration, one-on-one mentoring with students, and meaningful work in the community. I don't care that Gibbers told my colleagues that I stole from him and that I am mentally ill. Nasty things are said in divorce, and people know that, right? Yes. Tallahassee isn't ever where I wanted to live, but it's where the job is. And it's where my boy's father is, which means they don't have to constantly be flying on planes or driving in cars to accomplish our custody situation, right? Yes. So you have the pending petition and motion for relocation, but as of April the 28th, you're starting to think maybe staying in Tallahassee is the right thing to do, correct? Yes. And then this goes on. Third page is, now you're writing on May the 2nd of 2013, correct? Yes. A little different subject, but if you go to the next to last page of that exhibit, see where it starts, wait, it's me again? Yes. Okay. The paragraph after that, I wanted to ask you about this. It says, on Sunday morning, we're supposed to sit on the same stage. You're referring to Ms. Markell, correct? Yes. In full regalia and clap for the graduating law students. I love graduation, and the Jibbs has never attended because it's normally on a Saturday morning and he is at synagogue. Correct? Yes. And then you say it's on Sunday this year and I have the boys and the dean wants all faculty to attend. So I need to, it's only 2 hours and my mom can watch the boys during that time. Correct? Yes. So it was fairly routine then for you to get your mother or both parents' assistance when you had somewhere that you needed to be and someone needed to take care of the children, correct? Yes. May I approach? I'm going to exchange with you, Ms. Adelson. I'll take that one back and then show you what's been marked as Defense Exhibit 1G for identification purposes. Okay. I'm not sure if this was to Renee or not. Yeah, you mentioned Renee. So this is on June the 4th of 2013, correct? Yes. And we're approaching the hearing date on the relocation motion, which is set for June the 18th, right? Yes. And in here, you're expressing some concerns over what you've been through in the divorce. But you said, and I think the state referred to this, that Mr. Markell had sent you a long message about how you could be doing all of the divorce stuff so differently in the spirit of love and joy, where we get together and talk about our vision for the boys and for our future. And I won't say what you said after that, but at this point, you're kind of agreeing with him. You want to do it peacefully, right? Yes. Okay. And you talk about the one alternative is you could call Gary. Now, Gary is the gentleman who was kind of offering your position in Miami, right? Gary was a partner at the law firm where a position was offered to me. Okay. And your plan was to have him come and testify at the relocation hearing about the job that he would be giving you if you relocated there, correct? Yes. And you had other people who were going to testify there as well on your behalf, right? Yes. Okay. And so you say one alternative is you call Gary and say, I've changed my mind. I don't think it's best for my kids to move them to South Florida. I appreciate you saving the job for me, but I'm not going to come to South Florida, correct? Yes. And then you say, you call your brother and say, I love you, Charlie, but I'm going to stay in Tallahassee. I know you don't agree with my decision, but that's what's best for me and the kids right now. I hope one day you'll understand. That was something else you're considering, correct? Right. And then call your parents and say basically the same thing. And if they wanted to come up anytime and visit you and the boys in Tallahassee, they were free to do so, right? Yes. But that's like they've always been doing, correct? Yes. Okay. So you think if you take relocation off the table, that it will give you an opportunity to discuss things with Mr. Markell and hopefully work them out, right? Yes. On the next page, you talk about what the alternative vision is, and that's what you currently have planned, which is to have Gary fly up to testify at the hearing, right? Yes. Your mom would testify, right? Yes. They would fly up and spend days with you, correct? Yes. You expected at that time the hearing would last 1 to 2 days, right? Yes. And you were concerned that you would go through all of that, spending more money, being more stressed. And then you say, for the chance to save face with my family and to be given an opportunity I don't actually want, to live with them in South Florida. That's what you said, right? Well, I say an opportunity I don't actually want with all of my heart, but maybe part of it to live with them in South Florida. All right. And then you say, so I am willing to put myself through all of this just to keep up appearances with my parents and brother that I want to be living down in South Florida or down south with them, even though I don't want to. That's what you said, right? I say, even though I don't want to give up my current flexible job where I get to spend maximum time with my kids so I can be with them. Okay. And that was June the 4th of 2013, right? Yes. And what you end up choosing was the second alternative, correct? I went through with the hearing. Okay. And I think, let me find it. I'm going to show you what's already been introduced into evidence. Lettering system. That would be Y. I'll take this, and let you take this book. Okay. And if you would review that plea, or this order that the court entered, please. Okay. Have you had an opportunity to review that? Yes. So you went into this hearing, and Gary ended up coming, correct? He did. And he testified, right? Yes. And you gave some testimony, correct? Yes. And what happened was the judge kind of called a timeout, right? I don't remember a timeout. At some point, she wanted to speak to counsel. Is that right? I'm sorry, I don't remember that part of her speaking to counsel. Do you remember the judge making some comments about the?
This is not very many people, but Jesus, Kasi is cracking me the fuck up.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Got me laughing. Mary B snacking and laughing.
You can hear me snacking. Oh yeah.
He's got headphones.
I can hear it.
We hear you snacking.
DoorDash.
Snacking. But Turtleboy
No,
live. He
I'm eating some nuts.
moved his show off 30 minutes, so he just now went live, I think. Not,
Oh, really?
We're on a quest now. We're not going to quit. We're not going to quit.
No, we ain't.
But yeah,
you
don't. If you want to come up here and hang out with us, you can. You don't need video. I don't know if he's ranting. I'm not watching it. Whatever that is. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing. I can't listen to both in these damn headphones. But hopefully he is, because I'm gonna watch it later.
Children hadn't been harmed, and since he hadn't pulled out their toenails.
I do remember the toenail comment. Yes.
Pauline, don't get no charges up in here.
It's all good.
You gonna wake up in the morning, you gonna have damn subpoena in the mail. We're all gonna have to fill out affidavits.
As long as y'all fill them out, honestly, I'm all good.
Yeah. Depends on Cassie's probably end up, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So
Hey, all I have to do is say I have some evidence on TV and he'll be my best friend.
my affidavit will be paid. That's all I'm saying. I mean, he's
I'm in tech vault. I've got some behind the scenes info for him.
Ooh.
So she wasn't leaning towards relocation, correct? No. Okay. So even though you had other witnesses, you didn't proceed with the hearing, right?
Well, I think we had the hearing and the judge decided.
You didn't call all your witnesses, did you?
I don't remember.
If you look at the order,
see how easily you roll?
It says order on wife's petition to relocate with the minor children. And then it says what the court orders and adjudges. The court does not find that the wife has met her burden of proof that a relocation is in the best interest of the minor children. You see that?
Yes, number one.
Yes. And your mother actually stayed outside for the testimony of that hearing with your dad, correct?
I don't remember, but I remember asking her to stay outside if she was going to testify.
Okay. And you came outside at some point and told your parents that relocation was denied, correct?
Correct.
And it's after this hearing, when relocation is denied, that those truly ugly emails that your mother wrote were written by her, correct?
Yes.
Now approach. Actually, if you keep that for a second.
Okay.
Once the final judgment was entered, the issue of relocation was over, right?
Yes.
Relocation from July 31st of 2013 until the time that Mr. Markell was murdered was never an issue again, was it?
It was never an issue from the day it was decided on July 31st, 2013. That's when it ended.
Certainly after the final judgment, correct?
Yes.
And that's the end of the discussion about relocation, right?
Yes.
No more plans about how to get relocation. The issue's decided, correct?
It was decided.
Ms. Adelson, if you look at that order that's entered by the court, besides saying it's denied, it says something pretty important, and I think the state pointed this out in its opening. It says that this denial is with prejudice.
Yes, ma'am.
Of the wife's petition for request to relocate with the minor children. And you're a lawyer, so you know that with prejudice means this is done. This topic in this divorce is over.
Yes, with prejudice means it's a final decision of the court.
But what it says right before that is, as such, the parties stipulate to denial with prejudice of the wife's petition. You see that?
Yes, I do.
So what happened is after the judge says, if their toenails haven't been pulled out, I'm not thinking relocation, you actually stipulated to denial with prejudice, right?
Yes.
You did not tell your parents that you stipulated to denial with prejudice, did you?
I don't remember any conversation there, really.
So not knowing that it was denied with prejudice, your mother thought you still had an opportunity to get it up through your final hearing, right?
I believe so.
And so she kept writing these ugly things and giving you all of these ugly suggestions, right?
She did write those emails.
If you had told her you stipulated with prejudice, that's probably not what you wanted, Mom, but that would have been the end of it, right?
I don't know. I would just be guessing.
May I approach? Well, if you'd just be guessing, after she thought it was finally over on July the 31st, there were no more emails suggesting you do things like she suggested between the hearing date on June the 20th and the final hearing on July the 31st, did she?
Can you help me? What is the question?
So sure. So your mother doesn't know when you get out of the hearing on June the 20th that you stipulated that this is a forever decision. So she writes these ugly emails, right?
She may not have understood that it was a final decision of the court.
It was a decision of the court because you stipulated to it, Ms. Adelson, didn't you?
I did stipulate to
And
it.
she didn't know it. She thought you had up until the final hearing. So she's marching along trying to come up with more suggestions of how you can pressure Danny and get him to agree for you to relocate, even though you know it's dead, right?
I knew that it was a final decision.
And after July the 31st, when she thought it was a final decision, she wrote no more emails suggesting you do these crazy things to still try and get relocation, did she?
I don't remember the dates of the email, but
And you testified when you got up, when the state was asking you questions, after you said your mother hated Danny at the time that he was killed, which you clarified now that she was mad at him, not that she hated him. You testified you hated him at the time he was killed, right?
I don't remember testifying to that.
Well, then we'll need to take a break, Judge. May we approach? I do. May we approach?
Please approach.
Ms. Adelson, isn't it true that before getting married to Mr. Markell in, was it 2006?
2006, we got married.
Isn't it true that you've stated that you knew on your fancy wedding day, when you were all dolled up and feeling like you were an actor in someone else's show, you knew it on your honeymoon, when you were enjoying the vacation but not thrilled to be there with him, you said, I'm not sure I liked him, let alone loved him, but I was eager to start a life with someone and he wanted to do it with me. Recall saying that?
I don't recall saying that, no.
I have placed in front of you what's been previously marked as Defendant's Exhibit 1B for identification purposes. It's towards the bottom of page 3.
I see that I said that in 2013.
Ms. Adelson, you would agree that when Danny Markell was murdered on June the 18th of 2014, your little boys lost their father for the rest of their life.
On the day that he was murdered was July 18th, and yes, my boys lost their father.
They are growing up as 11 years have passed without his influence in their life in any way. Isn't that correct?
I wouldn't say without his influence in any way, but yes, they've grown up without their father.
He's not here to give them advice.
He is not.
He can't come to any of their functions, sports, anything else.
Correct.
They're not eating kosher like they would have with their father.
They are not.
They don't have him at all.
They don't have him in their lives day to day, no.
Because on July the 18th of 2014, he was brutally murdered in his driveway. Isn't that true?
That is true.
And you testified on direct that anybody in your family that had anything to do with it should be held responsible. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
And that includes you, doesn't it?
Anyone who's responsible.
You said you were an actor in someone else's show. Whose show was it?
I think I felt like I just wasn't fully present in my own life, that I had always been a real people pleaser. And so there was an aspect of not always being true to myself and wanting to make other people happy.
And one of those people is your mom, right?
Yes.
And that's part of why you kept going with relocation, even when you kind of had some doubts about it, right?
I would say it's part of the reason.
You were asked on cross-examination about the final order on relocation issued June 20th, 2013, and didn't you stipulate to making it with prejudice, I guess? Do you remember doing that?
I don't actually remember stipulating. I mean, I see it in the order, but I don't remember actively saying anything or participating in a stipulation.
In fact, when you testified about this previously, didn't you indicate you didn't know what with prejudice meant?
I think it's not something that comes up in my daily practice. And so at the time I had forgotten that it meant that it was a final order.
All right. And it was suggested or said on cross that you didn't tell your mom it was final and she was misled and she thought there was still room for it, right?
That is what was said to me on cross.
I'm going to approach and show you what I've marked as 64JJ. Let's take a moment to review this exhibit.
Okay.
Do you recognize that email?
I mean, I recognize the email address. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
The email from.
Their email is from my mom and dad's email address to a friend of theirs.
Who's the friend?
The Klegermans. I think it's Vicky, the woman in the relationship.
Okay. And it's signed Love Donna, right?
Yes. Sorry. So it's from my mom.
And in this email, does she indicate to the Klingermans that there is no chance at the appellate level for appeal of your relocation?
Yes, that's what the email says.
All right. And is that email dated 6/25 of 13?
Yes.
So 5 days after the order was issued, your mom did know that that order was final based on this.
Based on that email, yes.
Okay. It was. You would ask questions about, your mom never suggested any harm to Dan Markell to you, but she did want to bribe him, yes?
Yes.
Take control from him, weren't those her words?
Yes.
Aggravate him.
Yes.
Scare him.
I don't remember scare him, but I believe that was part of it.
Give him some grief.
Yes.
Take something from him.
Yes.
Show that fucker what would make him absolutely miserable.
Yes.
But definitely not kill him, right?
I don't know what the question is.
Donna was caring and devoted to your boys. You were asked about that. That's true, right?
Yes.
In fact, she maybe cared a little too much about your life and you and what was going on with you sometimes, right?
I don't know that you can care too much.
Even the Nazi uniform craziness came from her version of some kind of place of love. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Because although her lawyers tried to downplay this, she was suggesting a baptism for these kids, right?
Yes.
She said she looked into it and could get it done in 2 weeks, right?
I believe that's what it said.
And didn't she justify the means or claim that this would be harmless to your children because it was just like playing dress up to them, right?
Yeah.
Just like Jake the Pirates.
Yes.
She thought the ends, relocation, would justify the means, didn't she?
Yes.
And she thought a move to South Florida was what was best for you.
Yes.
And what was best for your children.
Yes.
Who she cared about more than anyone in the world?
I mean, I don't know who she cared about most in the world, but she
Is there anyone that she cares about more than those two boys?
My dad.
Okay. She thought relocation was best for those boys. They were
Yes.
going to have better opportunities, right?
Yes.
Better family support.
Yes.
A happier mother.
Yes.
With a more lucrative profession.
Yes.
And your lives all depended on it. Isn't that what she said?
Yes.
And Dan Markel could have agreed, couldn't he?
He was amenable, but then he didn't want to ultimately.
Well, he could have moved to South Florida, right? Isn't that what you were asked on cross?
Yes, he could have.
Could have moved to South Florida and enjoyed all that delicious kosher food down there, right?
Yes.
And if he had relented, you and he could have had separate lives in Miami and happily co-parented the boys, right?
In
That could have
theory,
happened.
yes, it could have.
Except he wouldn't relent, would he?
I mean, he said no, and so we had a hearing, and the judge said no.
Right. He wouldn't relent. He wouldn't give your mom what she wanted, would he?
I mean, we only had one conversation about it, so it wasn't like an ongoing thing.
It wasn't an ongoing thing? What was it?
I mean, between Danny and I, we talked about relocation. He said he would think about it, and then he said he didn't want to. And then we had the hearing, and then that was the end of it for me.
Yes, but you were asked on cross, wouldn't things have been potentially great for Danny down there too?
Yes, I think they would have.
Couldn't we all have lived happily ever after if he would have agreed to move down there too? Possibly, right?
Possibly.
But he wouldn't agree.
He didn't agree, no.
Nothing further.
The hearing will be continued this afternoon. We'll take a brief break. The bailiff will take it back to the room. Yes, go ahead. Very well. With there being no need for a proffer from this witness, you may step down. Ms. Kappelman, will you be recalling her at any point under your subpoena?
I don't intend to, Judge, but I would ask that she be remanded for what's happened.
Very
Just
well.
go about this.
You will not discuss your testimony with any other person when you testify in this trial.
Bam, we made it through that one.
Rob's my favorite witness so far.
Do a little Rob now.
Yeah.
Do a little Rob now. But yeah, people go back and forth to Turtleboy. And everybody doesn't always hang. Missy hung out last night, so don't put no pressure on people like that, man. People are coming in and out, it's fine. Let's go, Rob.
Prior ruling on this matter, you understood and you were clear on. When you were testifying, you were not to testify about any opinions that you have concerning whether your family members or your mother may have committed a crime. Do you understand this? Yes. Does the defense or state wish for there to be any further instruction from the court that does not otherwise cover the substance of the ruling?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please bring yours. Yeah. Mr. Adelson remains standing. Everyone else can be seated. Please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
I swear.
You may take your seat. Please speak loudly and clearly. You can adjust the microphone if need be. The student, you may examine.
Thank you. Could you tell us your name and spell your name for our court reporter, please?
Sure. Robert Adelson, Adelson,
Thank you. And what state do you currently live in?
New York.
And how long have you lived in New York?
13 years.
Okay, so since maybe 2012?
Yes.
All right. What do you do for a living in New York?
I'm an ENT.
Okay, so you're a nose and throat doctor?
Yes.
And how long have you worked as an ENT?
20 years.
How do you know the defendant in this case, Donna Adelson?
She's my mother.
And Harvey Adelson, your dad?
Yes.
Wendy and Charlie Adelson are your siblings?
Yes.
Okay. And where did you grow up?
In Coral Springs, Florida.
No, no, no.
Can I pick that dog?
No.
Can I pick that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pick that dog? That dog?
No, no, no.
Can I pick that dog?
No.
Can I pick that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pick that dog?
Is that a bit north of Miami?
Yep.
About how long of a drive?
About an hour north of Miami.
Okay. When y'all were growing up, did you all, the five of you, live in the same house as a family?
Yes.
And who's the oldest child?
I am.
Okay. Who's the middle child?
Charlie.
How many years between you and Charlie?
3 years between Charlie and I.
And then who's the youngest, then is Wendy?
Yes.
And how many years between Charlie and Wendy?
3 years.
Okay. When you were 18, did you move out of the Coral Springs house?
Yes, we went to college.
Okay. Did you go to college at University of Florida?
I went to Tulane.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Did you live in Gainesville at some point?
I did, yes.
Okay, thank you. So after you went to college at Tulane and then went on to med school, went on to residency, throughout those years, did you continue to talk to your parents and your siblings on a regular basis?
Yes.
And did you see them a couple of times a year?
Yes.
When you were in school, did you complete the assignment?
Yes.
Based on your personal observations throughout your life, of your parents and of your siblings, who is the leader in the family? Who tends to run the show?
I think my mom.
Okay, so Donna Adelson?
Yes.
Would you describe Donna Adelson's personality as being more controlling or more laid back?
I think more on the controlling side.
I mean, who would say any different? Most people's moms do run the shit. So, I mean, that's pretty normal.
What about, is she kind of a more assertive person or a more passive person?
More assertive.
What about your dad, Harvey Adelson? What's his personality like?
I think he's more passive, more go with the flow.
Okay. So they're kind of opposites in that way a bit?
Yeah.
When you and your siblings were growing up, was Donna Adelson a very involved parent?
Yes.
And when I say involved, as far as with your life and with your friends and with school and with that type of thing?
Absolutely.
Did she have certain fixed ideas throughout your life of certain things she wanted to happen in you and your siblings' life?
Yes, absolutely.
Was it acceptable if you decided to not do those certain things that she was fixated she wanted you to do? Was that acceptable to her or no?
No, I think she had certain sort of rigid, fixed ideas or impressions for what she wanted for us. And if you went along with that, things were fine. If you didn't, things were not fine.
Did she have strong opinions about who you all married and what you all did for a living and those types of things?
Yes.
And you're obviously a doctor. Was that an acceptable profession to her?
That was okay.
Okay. And was that one of the reasons you became a doctor?
Yes.
How involved was Donna in yours, Charlie, and Wendy Adelson's life after you grew up, became adults, and had kids of your own?
I think still involved.
Was she more involved with your life, Charlie's life, or Wendy's life, would you say?
You're probably more involved with Wendy and probably to a lesser degree with Charlie.
Okay. And then would you be she's the least involved with your life out of the three?
Yeah, probably because I was older and sure, I agree.
Okay. So you're the oldest child. You're out of the house before the other two?
Yep.
Okay. And then you also lived other places after you went to college throughout the rest of your life?
Yes.
Now, was this like a healthy level of involvement that she had with the three of your lives, or was it more of like a micromanaging as you saw it?
I think it was certainly between over-involved and controlling. It probably lended itself more toward controlling, but there's in various realms, more or less. But I think certainly that was attention.
Okay, so a little more on the controlling side.
Yes.
And does that include your personal lives as far as your relationships and in your professions, your jobs?
Yes.
Was it Charlie who always needed more attention than the other two children?
I think so, yes.
When did Wendy's life start becoming one that she needed to pay or give more attention to?
I think when she had some troubles in her marriage, I wasn't aware if there were any troubles in her marriage until Wendy left. But I think around that time when she had two young children, I think that was when she became more involved. And I was, at that point living, pretty good distance away.
Okay. Were you living in Philadelphia at the time?
Yeah, first in Philly and then in New York where we live now.
Okay. And so Charlie always got a lot of attention, and then Donna also started giving her attention also to Wendy's life once Wendy starts going through the separation or divorce.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. From your interactions with Donna Adelson through your whole life growing up and even as an adult, would you describe her as someone who's mentally sharp, thinking about things from all angles, or is she someone who's a little more gullible? Yes, sir.
Objection is sustained. You may continue with your examination.
Were Charlie and Donna Adelson dependent on each other or pretty independent from each other?
I would say Charlie was probably somewhat dependent on my mom to help him out with organizing stuff, his dental practice. I think he probably relied on her a lot.
Okay. And you mentioned the dental practice. When you were growing up, who owned the dental practice?
My dad.
Okay. And throughout your life, was Donna Adelson in charge of the money at Adelson Institute?
Yeah, I wouldn't know the inside workings of it, but I always remember my mom signing the checks and writing the checkbook at the table, when I was back in middle school or high school. So.
Okay. So even back then, she would do some bookkeeping or payroll type things at home.
That's my memory of it.
Okay. And then, did the dental practice? You said it obviously started out at Harvey's. Do you remember a time when Charlie Adelson took over?
I remember my dad making a joke about him having a very understanding boss because Charlie was now his boss. So.
Do not testify to what others have stated out of court. You may testify as to your knowledge, but not what someone else specifically said. The objection is sustained. You may continue.
I understand you were telling us how you remember that, but can you just tell us around what year do you remember that happening?
Around 2012, Charlie purchased the practice.
Okay, and then was there a time that you remember Charlie somehow selling it back to Harvey? Harvey Adelson has been becoming the head of the practice again.
Permit me to answer the question if you have knowledge of this matter.
My memory of that was sometime in fall to winter of 2015 to 16, somewhere around there. That's my memory.
Okay, so fall to winter of 2015.
Turning into 2016. That's my memory.
Okay. Now, you mentioned Donna Adelson doing payroll at Adelson Institute throughout your life. If someone were to ask Donna Adelson, or if someone asked Donna Adelson to do something, is she the type of person that just snaps to it, or does she have some questions first?
This is not good. You may answer the question.
No, I don't think she would just snap to and do what someone told her to.
Okay. Is she the type of person who's going to have some questions if you ask her to do
Yes,
something?
I think she would definitely have some questions.
Okay. Donna Adelson feel about Dan Markel when he and Wendy first got together and were headed towards marriage?
He was very positive about him.
Okay, so he was somebody that she approved of.
Yes.
All right, and how did that change as Wendy and Danny's relationship soured? They ended up moving towards divorce.
So I really only heard anything bad about Danny after Wendy moved out. I didn't hear anything bad about him prior to that date.
Okay, so it just kind of went from everything's fine to then hearing bad things about him.
Yes.
And when you say hearing bad things about him, like from her? From Donna Adelson? I'm
yes.
sorry? Okay. And how did Donna Adelson feel about Dan Markel in 2014?
She hated him.
And would this come from, your knowledge of that come from things that she would say to you?
Yes.
Did you observe that Wendy played a bit of a damsel in distress, in your opinion, in the divorce?
Yes, I think that's a good way to describe it.
Did Donna Adelson ever talk to you about Wendy Adelson and Dan Markel's divorce?
I apologize. Did Donna Adelson? I apologize. Can you hear the
That's
question
right. Did
again?
Donna Adelson ever talk to you about Wendy and Dan Markel's divorce?
Some. I mean, the phrase that sticks in my head is that Danny was depoting Wendy to death. I wasn't involved with all the various motions. I remember that phrase. I remember there being a lot of court motions back and forth. But I remember that phrase. I remember some complaints about like very long either mediation or depositions that Wendy had to endure.
Okay, so this is Donna saying Wendy's having to go through these things.
Yes.
Okay, and just telling you about it.
Yes.
How did Donna tell you that, or did she tell you that how Wendy was planning to leave Dan Markel and give him the news that she was leaving the marriage?
Then you're going to need to rephrase this in such a way to witness can answer, Mr. Young.
How did Donna Adelson describe to you how Wendy Adelson left the marriage?
Mr. Young, please approve.
Yeah.
You may continue with your examination.
What did Donna Adelson tell you about the plan for Wendy Adelson to leave the marriage?
Sure. When she told me that that she had been in Tallahassee for several months.
This is Donna Adelson.
Yes. That she had been in Tallahassee for several months, renting a new place for Wendy, arranging for movers, moving money around and getting things set up. I only knew this after Wendy had moved out, but she was relating to me what had occurred over the summer. And so I heard this all at once, but probably 5-6 days after Wendy had moved out, and then told me that somewhat gleefully or pleased that they timed the phone call to Danny right before he was supposed to give a speech at the meeting he was at.
Okay, so a couple questions about that. You said Donna said that she had been up here in Tallahassee moving money around and getting things ready for Wendy. Do you mean for when Wendy moved out and needed a place of her own?
Yes.
Okay. And what did Donna tell you that she did to try to, I guess, hide the fact that they were renting a place for Wendy?
I remember her saying she had used her maiden name, so there wouldn't be an Adelson up here renting, or hiring movers or such.
And just so like word of mouth wouldn't get around that Wendy Adelson was renting an apartment, something like that.
Sure.
Okay. So they used Donna's maiden name.
Yes.
Donna did. And then you said that their plan was for Wendy to call Dan Markel as he was getting on stage, or right before he got on stage, to give a speech at a conference.
That's what I was told.
Okay. And what was Donna's demeanor when she was describing this plan to you about how she was able to set up this place for Wendy to live in, everything was ready for her, and then this is how she gave Dan the news?
I think she sounded.
Donna's the one who gave the news. If not, then
I believe the question was, what was her demeanor? You may answer the question.
She sounded pleased to me.
Did you ever see Donna Adelson doing anything to help Wendy Adelson with the divorce?
I think she was, answering a lot of emails and looking over emails that went back and forth, looking over motions and such.
Did you personally see that when she was visiting you? Did you see Donna Adelson doing those things?
Yes.
Okay. Was there an occasion when you all were in the hospital and Donna came to visit and was doing those things in the hospital?
I think it was at our home at the time, right before we went to the hospital. But yes, that's where we saw the email.
Okay. And while she was at your house during that time, is that when you were living in Philadelphia?
That was in Albany.
Albany. Okay. Did she want the Wi-Fi at that time so that she could get on the internet and work on these filings?
Yeah, she said she had things to do to help out with the divorce.
What date would that have been? Do you remember?
October of 12.
Did Donna Adelson tell you that Wendy Adelson was trying to get permission to relocate to Miami?
Yes.
And did Donna Adelson tell you about the $1 million bribe she wanted to offer Dan Markel?
Yes.
During the year or two after Wendy Adelson left Dan Markel, how much time was Donna Adelson spending in Tallahassee?
You may answer as to your personal knowledge on the subject matter.
I can rephrase, Judge. Did Donna Adelson tell you information about how much time she was having to spend in Tallahassee?
She said that Wendy needed a lot of help because now she has 2 boys on her own, and so she was up there a lot. And I think yes.
Okay. Who cared more about Wendy Adelson's divorce from your conversations? Was it Donna or Charlie?
Donna.
What types of things does Charlie care about? What are kinds of things is he really into?
Like go-karts, jet skis, going out, boats. Not Wendy's divorce.
Okay. And was Donna Adelson very into her kids and grandkids and
Yes.
their success?
Yes.
Do you think Wendy's divorce or her moving, I guess, do you think Wendy and her boys moving to Miami was particularly important to Charlie Adelson from your observations?
I don't think so.
During the divorce, from your conversations with Donna, was she fixated on Wendy taking this job with a guy named Gary Cohen in Miami?
Yes, that was a common discussion point.
Okay. Did she seem like it was just something that she kind of thought would be a good idea or something that she seemed to have a real obsession with?
It came up a lot in my discussions with her about this job with Gary, where she'd be making $1 million a year and to be a partner. And it was something that was brought up a lot, that she'd be able to take care of her kids in a way that she couldn't up in Tallahassee. And then it was probably the one thing that she mentioned to me. The only time I heard any anger after the murder had occurred was that I asked, is Wendy going to go work for Gary now? And she told me that.
Did the job end up not working out?
As far as I know, it didn't.
Okay. And that you heard some anger from Donna when that happened?
She said his partners wouldn't let them hire her until they.
Okay. But there was some anger there because the job didn't end up working out.
Yes.
They couldn't hire Wendy or didn't want to hire Wendy after all.
That's what I was told.
Okay, thank you. Now, during the summer of 2014, did Wendy Adelson, I'm going to move on to 2014 now, did Wendy Adelson send you a text where she referenced having a boyfriend?
Yes.
And was this before Dan Martell's murder?
Yes.
Why was that memorable to you?
It was just unusual. Wendy, never was someone who would, share her, romantic life or boyfriends or, tell me or, text me about anyone she was dating. So it just stood out as, unique or different.
Okay. What did she, was there something in particular that she said that struck you? Okay. I guess, was it your impression that your parents knew about this boyfriend at the time or no?
No, the text said, don't tell the parents.
Members of the jury, you are to disregard the last response of the witness.
May I approach, Judge?
You may. May continue your examination, Ms. Dugan.
Okay, so I was asking you about this text that you received from Wendy Adelson. Can you tell me about this text?
Sure. She texted me that she was going to Gainesville for the weekend, and this was 2014. So I last lived in Gainesville about 3 years prior to that. Mentioned that she wanted that I mentioned the name of Jeff. I asked who was Jeff. The response was my boyfriend. I responded, I didn't know, and he said you wouldn't. I didn't hear it from the parents. He says they don't know. And so it just struck me as, and she sent me some pictures of Jeff with her and the boys. It struck me as unique because she'd never shared the name or photograph of a boyfriend before.
Okay, so
Members of the jury, as to the last question and response, you are not to consider the hearsay statement for the truth of the matter asserted. You may continue.
Okay, so it was unusual for her to talk to you about boyfriends at all.
Yes.
But you also felt it was unusual that she's telling you about this boyfriend when even your parents don't know about him yet.
Right.
And she was closer to her parents at the time than you.
Correct.
Okay. What date was that text message sent?
The very end of June, like 26 or 28 of 14, that last weekend.
Okay, so it was prior to 4th of July weekend.
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember where in those photographs Wendy is with her sons and Jeff?
Like Wacola Springs, something like that.
Okay.
They're in front of a board that said that.
And did you let her know you wouldn't mention him to her parents or to your parents?
Yes.
Did that strike you as so unusual that after Dan Martell was murdered, you felt, I guess, compelled to tell police, like, hey, I heard she has this boyfriend she hasn't told anybody about named Jeff?
Yes, I did. The FBI came to my house and I spoke to them once, and either didn't come up or it's a bit nerve-wracking talking to the FBI, and they didn't ask any questions about that. And then I guess over the ensuing week, I'd heard about like this Prius and this this unsolved murder. And I remembered, it struck me as odd that I was sent these photographs of a boyfriend and not to tell the parents about him. And so that's why I wanted to have a clean conscience. So I reached out to the FBI and I said, I don't know if this matters, but I figured I would, tell you about this. And they came back for a second interview and looked at the pictures.
Okay. When is your father, Harvey Adelson's birthday?
July 5.
Okay, so on July 5th of 2014, how old would he have turned that year?
70.
Okay, and this is about 2 to 3 weeks before Dan Martell was killed?
Yes.
Did your family do anything to celebrate his birthday that year?
Yes, we had a party at their condo.
Okay, was there a gift from the family or from any of you to him?
No, I remember an email, and my dad is not someone who wants gifts or a big deal made about him. And so, the email was like, your dad doesn't want gifts, he just wants all of his kids to be with him on his birthday.
And was that from Donna Adelson?
Yes.
So she's basically just letting know you and your kids coming is going to be his gift.
Correct.
And everybody, all the kids and grandkids being
Correct.
there. Okay. Did the family ever discuss going on a cruise?
No, not with me.
When a birthday gift is given for somebody in the family, does Donna Adelson typically say, we're going to get him this, everybody owes this much, everybody's going to pay a third or whatever it is? Yeah,
if there was like a big gift we're getting, or they said, we're getting this for someone, and you can be part of it, that was not uncommon.
Okay, so tell us about the party. You said it was at the Continuum?
Yes, at their apartment.
Okay, so is that like a condo building in Miami?
Yeah, on Miami Beach.
Okay, on Miami Beach, like South Beach?
Yeah.
Okay, and is it a secure building?
It was very secure. It was, we were staying at a hotel down the street, and there was like armed guards, and apparently there's a lot of celebrities that live there. It was a very high, very secure building.
Okay. And these celebrities that lived there, were they people that you knew of? I mean, you knew who they were?
Sure. A-Rod.
Did these people have kind of guards of their own too in the building?
I don't know.
Okay, so the guards that you saw were the guards in the front?
Yes.
All right. Had your parents, how recently had they moved to the Continuum?
Yeah, I got the idea. It was certainly less than a year. Like, I don't remember exactly, but it seemed like they said they were going to try living down in South Beach to see if they liked it for their retirement. And so it had to be sometime, before, because they were pretty well moved in there. But I don't remember the exact time, but if I'm guessing like maybe 6 months before, something like that.
Okay, so by the weekend of the party, July 5th, are they like fully moved into their condo there?
Yes.
Okay, and are they living there full time from what you know?
It seemed like that, but I couldn't, I know they still own the house in Coral Springs, so I don't know if they were there on the weekends, but I couldn't say definitively, but it looked like they were living there fully.
Okay. Was his party on his actual birthday or another day of the week?
No, on his actual birthday.
All right, was your brother Charlie there that weekend?
Yes.
Wendy and her sons, were they there?
Yes.
Was the party catered?
Yeah, there was, yes.
What type of food did you have?
There were like past hors d'oeuvres, and then there was a paella chef on the balcony.
Okay. Was the party a surprise for Harvey?
No.
So you were never told, don't tell him about it, it's a surprise,
No.
anything like that? Don't tell him. Were you not supposed to tell him anything about the party that was a surprise?
No, there was nothing about a surprise birthday.
Was there ever a time in the weeks leading up to the party that you heard that the party may be canceled for any reason?
No, never.
All right, so how did you first hear about Dan Martell's murder?
I heard the day after the shooting occurred, so that would be Saturday, July 19. I was at a meeting in Chicago, and I think I got a phone call first, and then I was in a meeting, and so I just said, can I call you later? And then I got a text message shortly thereafter, like right before 10 in the morning, that said, like, tragedy here, please call.
And it is from Donna Adelson?
Yes.
Okay. So were you able to call her that morning from the conference in Chicago?
Yeah, so I walked out and went to the hotel lobby and just hit call.
Okay, and tell us about that conversation with her.
So it's one of those moments that you'll just remember forever. So I remember being in the lobby of the Westin, and I assumed something terrible had happened, and I wasn't ready for it. She said, so we just want to let you know that Danny's been shot, and they took him to the hospital, but he didn't make it. And it just didn't make any sense. And I probably asked like a few medical questions, and they said they're driving up to go help Wendy, and we'll talk to you later. We can't talk now.
Okay. Was she crying in that conversation?
Not in the conversation.
Sir?
No, she was not.
Okay.
It was very matter of fact.
Did she ever give you any further detail that weekend about how he'd been shot, or other than just Danny was shot and he didn't make it?
I think it was the next day. So the only really other time that I spoke with him that weekend, I was in the airport going home, like Sunday afternoon. So it was definitely the next day. And it was the first time I could actually have any kind of conversation. And one of the things that she told me is, it bothered me, but I didn't have any other details about it. But she said that, someone went to the front door and said, "Are you Dan Martell?" and then shot him. And then I said, "Well, how could you know that? Who's telling you that?" And she said, "Well, that's just what they're telling us." And it just.
So she said someone told her that someone knocked on Danny's door, said, "Are you Dan Martell?" He said yes, and the shooter shot him.
That's the story I heard. And later we found out that wasn't what happened. But that story bothered me a lot because there's only one way you could hear that story.
Was she crying when she told you that information?
No.
You mentioned earlier that law enforcement contacted you after Dan Martell's murder. Did they contact you to try to see if you knew any information?
They came to our house. I was already at work, and so they talked to my wife. It had to be a Wednesday or Thursday, so I was already at work.
And is this your house in New York?
Yes.
Okay. And did you end up talking to law enforcement and answering the questions, letting them know what you knew?
Yeah, they came to my office the next day, and we with two agents, and we had an interview.
Okay. After that conversation with, you said it was the FBI earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay. After that conversation with the FBI, did Donna Adelson ever say anything to you about having talked to law enforcement or the FBI?
It was either that afternoon or the next day, but and she called me and said, I just want to let you know, if the police come around, don't talk to them.
Okay, so she told you not to talk to law enforcement.
Correct.
Did you let her know that you already had talked to law enforcement?
I said I already did.
What did you say to that?
She said, "Oh, well, you don't know anything anyway."
You don't know anything anyway?
Correct.
Was that an unusual statement coming from your mother?
Yeah, everything that week was unusual, but I clearly didn't know anything, but I wasn't going to not talk to the FBI if they show up at my house.
How did you respond? Let me ask you this. After the murder of Dan Martell, did Donna Adelson seem curious about who killed Dan Martell?
No.
Was there a complete lack of curiosity?
Yeah, nobody seemed curious.
Did you actually ever ask her, like after the murder, like, hey, like, what do you think happened? What do you?
Yeah, and, the conversations were kind of rerouted, or that was certainly discouraged. And it was probably like maybe sometime like mid-August, when I finally had a chance to ask and say, what is going on? This was not a small event. This was getting a lot of notoriety. And I said, what do you guys think happened? And she had said, I don't know and I don't care. It doesn't concern me.
Was that out of character for her to not be curious and not be asking some questions?
Yeah, it was an unsolved murder of my former brother-in-law, like someone that we all know very well. If it was like some neighborhood gossip, people would be interested. This was like national interest, and nobody had any curiosity about who did this to Danny.
Is a person, you mentioned that, not only is it your brother-in-law, but it was like national news at that point as well.
Yes.
And regardless of it being national news or not, I mean, is a person dying from gun violence an extremely unusual thing to happen in your family?
Yeah, I mean, to this day, Danny's the only person that I know who's died from gun violence or been a victim of gun violence. So it's unique in that manner.
What would your mom, Donna Adelson, do if you did try to ask her any more about Danny's murder after that?
It wasn't a subject for discussion. It would be rerouted, or it was just not a subject to discuss.
When you say rerouted, do you mean like changing the subject?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fast forward to 2016. Do you remember in May of 2016 when Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera were arrested?
Yeah, I do. I actually saw it in the Aura Lounge. Someone told me about it. It had to be a Wednesday, and
you were in the the operating room.
Yeah,
lounge,
it was
and
the
someone
lounge.
told you about
Yes,
it.
it was someone else, because
Okay.
stories like this people see on Twitter or such, and I remember someone telling me did you hear about the case, because it's more than one person had followed it, and I saw it, and then that was on the 26th, and I remember the dates because our anniversary is on the 28th of May. My wife and I were like, should we call them? They arrested some guy who killed Danny, and
When you say them, you mean should we
My
call our
parents,
parents? And
yes.
yeah, okay. So it was big news that even people you work with were seeing that there were finally some arrests made.
right.
Okay. And that was 2 days before your anniversary. You said?
Yes.
Okay. So did you and your wife eventually talk to your parents?
We did. We thought, should we call them? And we figured that if they wanted to call us, they would call us, and then they didn't. And so we figured, well, they'll call us on our anniversary, and so we can just sit tight. And I'm sure it's pretty stressful. And this guy was arrested in Miami, and so they called us on our anniversary, which was the 28th.
Okay. So that was 2 days after the arrest, I think.
2 days after I found out. Yes.
2 days after you found out. Thank you. So on the 28th, did you talk to Donna Adelson?
Yes.
All right. And when she called you, was she telling you the good news that Danny's killers were arrested?
No, just called us for anniversary, and wished us well, and had some small talk for a bit. And I kind of let it go for a little bit. I mean, this was not small news, and so I finally broached the topic and said, they found the guy, they arrested someone who killed Danny. There's no response, and I said it, at least 2 or 3 times that they arrested, they made an arrest, they got the guy who killed Danny. And then her response was, I've got to go.
And then did you hang up the phone after that?
Yes.
And did you ever talk to her about it again ever after that?
No.
Just a second. Other than her reaching out for happy birthdays, happy anniversaries, that kind of thing, was that the last conversation you had with her?
That was the last time I spoke to her.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Say it again. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
In between 2012 and 2014, how many times did you come to visit your family in South Florida?
2012 and 2014. My daughter was born in October of 2012, and so I think my dad's birthday. No, there was a Thanksgiving, I think, in 2013. So I mean, pretty much Thanksgivings were the times when we travel, having a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. So
Sure. Okay, so Thanksgiving of 2013, and then your dad's birthday in 2014.
yeah, there could have been one other one, but I remember those 2 for certain that I could swear to.
Okay, and when you came for his birthday was on the 5th. You came in on the 4th. The party was on the 5th, and you left on the 6th, correct?
That's my memory of it.
And Thanksgiving, kind of the same thing. When you got a job, you got to get back to, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And how frequent were the phone calls that you were having with your family?
Probably less than once a week, maybe every other week, something like that.
And when I say family, I think I'm referring to Donna.
Sure.
Okay. Now, you were here on the 5th for your dad's birthday. You said you went home on the 6th.
Yep.
And Danny Markell was brutally murdered on July the 18th of 2014. That was in the summer.
Correct.
You call that?
Yes.
And when did you arrive in Florida to be with your family?
I didn't.
Thank you. You had mentioned in your direct testimony that your mom called and said you shouldn't talk to the police. You recall that?
Yeah, I do. Yes.
What actually happened was a family friend, Michael Weinstein, you know him, correct?
I do. Yeah.
Your mom indicated that he had called and advised that as a family friend and an attorney that you all should not talk to the police. That's what she told you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't have anything further.
Redirect examination. You may step down.
What'd you get up to, Danny?
Yeah. Let's go ride some turtles, I guess, since there's 10 high-level chat rats in there.
You had to
Avoiding.
do a lot of names in the chat at one point.
Do what?
What number did you get up to tonight? 'Cause there was a lot of people in the chat at one point.
No, we didn't even hit 20.
Well, then they were chatting a lot.
It's another shitty one, just like last night. And then Gingy and Misty and Janine and about 10 more people are all up in fucking Turtleboy's room. Gary
Oh,
B.
how nice. We'll have
Yeah.
to go say
Didn't even
hello.
come through and say hey.
The
What's
true
up?
chat rats.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Didn't
Hey,
even
there's
say
Sweet
hey.
Woman.
What's up, sweet woman?
Good to see you. Now we're leaving.
She's been here, I
Come with
think.
us.
She's been here lurking. Because I noticed earlier when she was talking to her picture.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's all good. MJ says 28 likes. I figured there was more than that in the chat though.
No. Not unless,
Clark
not
says
unless
spreading the load.
I don't know. That's 2 in a row where it's been like really low. Views are really low too. Oh well. Fuck it.
There's a lot of Adelson stuff going on, so probably what it is.
Yeah, I know.
We matter.
Mhm. Yeah, we matter. We're the ones that are here.
Yeah.
But we shall remember that. Because isn't Gingy the one that's always going and looking in other chats like Prince Lover and telling us where everybody's at?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gingy's been like not here as much. Maybe she's like busy.
Hadn't seen her in the Discord either.
Yeah.
Leave it to Detective Danny. I don't know.
Oh, we got a detective unit. If we got to break them out, we will. They're always
do.
investigating now. The little rats. Like bots. Anyways, we'll end this shit. See you guys.
Okay.
It was
on-
fun, guys.
Yeah, it was funny.
Definitely.
It was some good funny
Night
stuff.
chat.
Later,
Night,
man.
everyone. See you over there.
Chat rats, y'all ready? Light it up. Light it up. It's that time. Let's roll. Let's roll.
Got the crew on the dial and we setting out east. Rat daddy at the wheel on a trail for the beast. Toy got receipts and a pocket full of names, and we busting out truths like we blowing out flames.
Eastbound and down, chat rats rolling heavy. Truth on our tailgate, justice riding steady. Mic in our hand and the signs all red. Ain't no lies slipping past what the chat rats said.
Got the playlist, angels taking charge. Law leans on the mic and her notes hit hard. Mary B's lifted, but she's sharper than attack. Dean's dropping questions while he's rolling in his Cadillac.
Breaker, rap mama here, got eyeballs on that shady scene. Y'all ready? Light it up, rats. 10-4-20. Northbound and bold, truth in the backseat. Chat rats got that heat. Can't be beat from the chat rats lounge to the courthouse gate. We ride for the truth and we show up to see that fate.